Extra Point with Jim Thunderbird and head coach Grant Redhead.
Welcome to the Extra Point, brought to you by Bryan Ford Lincoln. Coach Redhead, big win last week on the road, I thought.
Yeah, it was really good. Woodward was a big team, and they were physical, and we knew we may get that. But our options were limited where we could go and not be 2 hours away.
Yeah.
So the TPS schools were the ones that had some openings. You know, the coach is a really great guy that was at Central for a while, and you know, he's changing things around. But he's got those kids playing hard. They're big, physical, fast.
Yeah.
And the lights were real great.
I was going to ask you about that. Coach, I don't know that I've seen a stadium that dark as far as the lighting. It was just absolutely the poorest lighting I think I've seen.
It was very, very difficult to see. They had construction lights there, and they were doing the best they could. They had the light poles, they have the lights, they have everything there, and they were going to get it donated, the work donated to put them up, but there was an issue with that. I'm not sure on what end. So they didn't have lights. And they say the stadium and the press box is coming, so they didn't even have a press box to film from. You know, so we had to get our guy in the low stands, and also they have a telescoping film we got to film from. The playing surface was great. Lights weren't great, but both teams had to play on it, and you know, we just did the best we could.
Yeah, no doubt about that. In the end, it seemed like you guys really took control on the ground.
We did. You know, we noticed midway through the first half, they had hands on hips, they were getting tired, and we were starting to grind them down. Third and fourth quarter, we really did that. We started executing better. You know, I told the boys, they said we made about every mistake we can with fumbles, turnovers, interceptions, you know, bad punt snap, everything like that. Okay, it's over. Let's play the second half, and let's dig ourselves out of the hole. And they did. They did a good job, and, you know, we rattled off 2 touchdowns unanswered, took control on both sides of the ball, and you know, secured the win. We made it a little closer than we wanted to with the field goal attempt at the end, but since it didn't cross the plane of the goal line, they're allowed to return it.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll tell you what, an open field, that was a dangerous football team.
Yeah, they were. They did have great team speed, and, you know, and they were big and physical. It was a good test for our kids, and you know, I think that after you play a team like that, and then, you know, this week Fairview's not as big and physical. They're quick, but you know, they're not going to overpower us. So, you know, as long as we tackle well, we'll be all right.
Do you think in the future there's a chance for maybe a continuation of this game between Woodward and yourselves?
I talked to the athletic director about it. The biggest issue is lights. I told him I'd play these guys anytime. Both teams were classy on the field. There weren't any personal fouls. There wasn't a lot of talking. They just played football, and that's what it was. And I think it's a good experience for the kids to go an hour away, see what's out there. You know, I don't have a problem with it. Our AD doesn't have a problem. We just got to make sure they're going to have lights. Yeah. Because I'm not playing like that again.
No, I don't want you playing like that again. You couldn't see the numbers on those unis. You want to talk about a black uni with a blue number on it? Yeah, for an old guy, these old eyes aren't really good anyway, and that would made it really difficult up there.
Yeah, and I was told there was some rule that if they moved the game time up, then all the other teams they play could request to have the game moved to their site because they have lights.
Okay.
So it's an issue with home field, and as long as they get them fixed, we'll play.
Yeah, no problem. Well, the team goes 1-1 right now. Fairview's coming up. We'll be back to take a look at that right after this on Extra Point. All right, Coach, you're 1-1 right now. You've got Fairview, and this is the first time that we played Fairview in forever. And the history to this Fairview game is a unique one, okay?
Yes.
There's a reason why they didn't play, and it has to do with all the crazy things that happened back when I was a kid in the 70s. I know you were on a radio program the other night, so could you kind of give us a little history behind this ball game?
What it was is in '74, a group of 4 guys went over and cut their totem pole down.
Yep.
Didn't really realize who it was. They found out in '75 there was a fight on the field, and the game got called at the end with 3 minutes left. And after that, they haven't played. They haven't played in 42 years. I don't think it's these guys' dads that remember it. I think it's their grandpas that will remember it now. It ended, the good rivalry ended because of a circumstance and some unsportsman things and, you know, just emotion. And I think that, you know, we want the rivalry. We really do. And I pressed it all week to our kids. But, you know, I also pressed we're going to do it the right way. Okay, we're going to play with our pads and not with our mouths, and we're not going to put things on social media and things like that. And I said, that doesn't mean you got to be their best buddy.
Right.
You know, for 2 hours, you know, you're trying to, you know, beat them. But
Yep.
there's a right way and a wrong way to do it.
Yeah, no doubt. Fairview's always had a pretty good football team. This year they're kind of young, okay? They've not had a couple of good years behind them even, but I think they're turning in the same direction that you guys are, so it should be a good ball game, I would think.
Yeah, I think so. You know, they're fast and athletic.
Yep.
They've got a quarterback that's elusive, the Groves kid at running back. He's a speedster. They did graduate 4 linemen up front, so they're a little younger and inexperienced, and I've got a little more veteran offensive line that's starting to gel well now. You know, the biggest thing is how our young kids are going to match up with their young kids, because we've got a lot of sophomores starting and a lot of juniors starting. So, you know, whoever makes the most youthful mistakes, turnovers have hurt us 2 weeks in a row. And, you know, usually it takes a couple games to get that out. Even if you're watching college, you see them turning the ball over. So as long as we'll turn the ball over, tackle well, and I think, you know, just pure execution, control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. When I was out here the earlier part of the week, it seemed like there was a little more focus around this camp this week. All your coaches seem to be a little more focused for Fairview week.
I turned up the heat on everybody, and I know what it means to the town. You know, I got it. You know, and that's the thing we want to do. You know, as the head football coach, I want to make sure we're proud of our team and our town and things. And I know what that means to, you know, the people and that I'll see in Chief and in Walmart and up in the square. And you know, I'd much rather them say, "Hey, great job beating Fairview, coach," instead of, "Coach, what happened against Fairview?" You know, we really push the kids. We tried to get that sense of urgency and let them understand how big this really is.
Yeah. You know, when you look at it on paper, you know, Bryan's the big school, the big town. Here's a little country school down there in Fairview. They've got nothing to lose in this ball game. To beat Bryan would be a big feather in their hat. And if we win, everybody's going to say, well, you should have beaten Fairview. You're Bryan. So it makes it kind of tough, doesn't it?
It does, but, you know, that doesn't bother me. A W is a W and an L is an L.
Yeah.
And I don't care how big or small you are, because, you know, I've been doing this for 22 years, and, you know, I beat big schools that I shouldn't have beat. I beat small schools that I should beat, and I've done everything in between. It's like, hey, you know, let's see how the ball bounces. It's a game. Let's have fun playing it. Have a good rivalry, and you know, I like I said, I don't think about the negatives. I just think about winning.
Yep. Health of the team right now and keys to the game.
We're healthy. Noah Bonnie did not have a head injury. He kind of pulled a muscle in his neck, back in his trap. When he got hit, he kind of got a little whiplash in the muscle. He's fine. We were missing 2 starting linemen last week that we got back, in Connor Ford and Chuma Sanchez. So we're at full strength, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, sounds good. Key to winning this one on Friday night.
We got to play physical.
Yeah.
We have to own the lines of scrimmage. We have to sit there and, you know, if we can do that and we hold on to the football, you know, we'll win.
Fantastic. Well, the ball game's right here on BMU Channel 3. It's also on Q96.5 FM, and the ball game's on its way right here. That'll do it for the Extra Point, brought to you by Bryan Ford. Coach, good luck.
Thanks, sir.
Tonight's broadcast of Golden Bear Sports is proudly streamed by BMU Cable and High-Speed Internet. BMU is your hometown local provider for digital HD cable and high-speed internet. Call BMU today at 419-633-6100 or visit us on the web at cityofbryan.net. Go Bears from all of us at BMU.
Back out at Fairview here on the Golden Bears Sports Network. Chris Malenga and Jim Funderburg. It's time for the Apaches and the Golden Bears, something that hasn't occurred since 1976.
Man, I'll tell you what, that was the year that I came out of Ohio University. How's that? The hair
I was a
long,
year old.
The sideburns were bushy, and you were a year old. There you go.
And Eric Herman wasn't even a thought.
Well, there you go. As we said, the Bears basically won the toss the day before the second half, so the American Family Insurance starting lineups here tonight. The Bears will start on defense, and they'll start this way. Connor Beck and Connor Ford will be your defensive tackles. Noah Rohr and Matt Harold will be your defensive ends. Your linebackers will be Alex Potvin and James Dominic. Your defensive backfield will be Bryce Wagner and Logan Clemens and Spencer Winsler, all the safeties. Corners, Austin Dean and missing one corner. Austin Dean and Adam Queen. There you go, the corners for this evening. And the Fairview Apaches offense will start tonight like this. Their quarterback this evening playing the ball game. There you go, Dominic James. I've got to flip that thing on my schedule. Thanks, Chris. Their quarterback here tonight is number 14, Jackson Hart. Wide receivers are Caleb Frank, Doug Rakes. Running back is Ian Groves. Their tight end starting tonight is Russ Zedek. Their H-back is Zach Hess. And their offensive line at left tackle, Riley Puffenberger at left tackle, Braxton Singer at left guard. Alex Lehman is the center, Chase Singer is the right guard, and Jacob Backus is the right tackle.
I hope that Doug Rakes is the junior, not the coach, because I think he probably doesn't have any eligibility left.
Yeah, Doug Rakes Jr. is just a freshman. He's 5'10" and 130 pounds. And with that, the Bears about ready to put it into play. And going back deep is Caleb Frank. He'll stand at his 10-yard line and wait for the kick. In fact, that is Ian Groves back there, 7, not 1. He's got that jersey kind of pulled up and bunched up nice and tight. So Ian Groves will be the gentleman to the back. In front of him is 47 Luke Timbrook and 34 Zach Hess as they wait for the kick. And for the Bears here kicking tonight, basically Evan Smith will do all the kicking tonight for the Golden Bears as he does. And as if you haven't heard it already, Evan, a two-way performer for the Golden Bears as he plays soccer and football. With that, the whistle is blown, and this one's about ready to get started from Fairview. Smith hits it. It's a low squibbler. It'll be bouncing past the 20 down to the 10-yard line, and that is where Groves will pick it up. He'll come right straight up the sideline across the 20 and be dropped at about the 22. Bears all over that one, and a nice job by Bryson Andrews to be the first guy down to make that tackle. Had a little help as well from the Golden Bears, Andrew Cogswell, number 21. So the Golden Bears basically held the Apaches to about a 4 to 5 yard return, and the Apaches offense will go into operation there on their own 23-yard line, 22-yard line, I guess. Much better night for being able to see everything, Chris, than it was last time. Spread look here for the Apaches. They put 4 wide to the visitor side, and now they're going to shift people around just a little bit. They'll bring their tight end tight, and they'll bring their wing back in, Ian Groves. They'll hand the ball to Groves. He'll sweep towards the home side, has a nice gain, and then gets stood up and layered at about the 30-yard line. And a nice job by the Bears' Logan Clemens to make that tackle. So a pickup of about 7 on first down, and the Apaches have a second and short. Just underway. If you're joining us, great to have you with us tonight on 96.5 FM, the Q, or on BryanSports.com, or the TuneIn app for the Q. If you're with us tonight, Chris Malenga and Jim Funderburg on a much better lit field than we saw last week. Doubles to the top of the bottom. Again, the single running back Groves in the backfield. This time they'll throw the ball to Groves on the wing, and Groves will try to get to the 30, but not quite get there as he is wrapped up and dropped by Isaiah Hale at about the 29-yard line. So a nice job by the Bears to keep him short. In fact, he's got to get all the way out to about the 32. So it'll be third down. Now he lost a couple of yards. It'll be third down now in about 4.
Nice job by the Bears to be able to keep that in front of them and make the tackle.
No doubt. Just a minute into the football game, we have no score on the main stop scoreboard right now. And again, dropping back in the shotgun look and handing off to Ian Groves, who sweeps the right side. And the Bears rip the ball loose, but I think the forward progress had been stopped. And I believe where they're going to mark the forward progress will be just enough for the first down. And we'll see. We'll see where they're going to put it. Yep, there goes the chains. Got out to the 34-yard line. He needed about the 32, so he got an extra couple there, did Ian Groves. Then it'll be first down and 10. Bears did rip the ball loose. It went out of bounds, but that was after the whistle had blown.
It's Bryan High School football on the Golden Bears Sports Network, BMU Channel 3, BryanSports.com, and WQCT Bryan.
10:22 and counting, opening quarter. Nobody scored. First drive so far, and the first down of the night goes to the Apaches as they pitch the ball to Groves, and he'll sweep towards the visitor side, and he get clobbered on the top end. First guy to make the hit was number 13 for the Bears. We've got a couple of new faces in there tonight, Chris. You know, Coach was saying...
Connor Arthur's 13.
Coach was saying about that he was going to make a couple of changes this week. and it was going to be who stepped up and really made the tackle and made the plays. And Arthur with a nice shot right there, and that'll bring up basically a short pickup. It'll be second down and just keep it at 10. So Arthur with a big hit. I'll tell you, the coaches have really instilled some fire into this football team this week, and we'll see if it manifests itself here on the field.
They got a guy wide open down low.
Quarterback rolls and throws deep, and it's in the hands and out of the hands of Doug Rakes. Rakes had gotten behind the coverage. That was Logan Clemens, who was a couple steps behind, and Spencer Winsler, and that ball put right on the money, but he was not able to catch it, and that's the second week now in a row, because we saw that late in the game last week against Woodward, where the young guy dropped it just about in the same spot on the field.
About the 30-yard line.
Yeah. So that stops the clock with 9:25 to go. Fairview now with third down and 10. And a real nice job of tossing that football down the field by Jackson Hart. Hart is a senior. He's 6'3" and 185 pounds. And he had that ball right on the money, but the freshman Doug Rakes just couldn't pull that ball in. Again, triples on our side. Single running back in the backfield. Here comes the blitz from the top side. They're going to throw it on the other direction. And this time we've got a little contact on the Bryan side. I'm sure the Fairview side looking for a flag, but some pretty good coverage out there. And I believe, again, that was Connor Arthur that was covering. And that'll set up a fourth down and 10, and the Bears will get the football back with 9 minutes and 18 seconds left to go in the opening quarter.
That was intended for Ian Groves on the left side, and that time the Bears stayed with him and was able to be right there.
Yep. Groves, Coach was talking about Groves. That is the young guy that they've got to corral here tonight, because he is a playmaker, an athlete, and he was very impressed with what he saw when he watched tape of Groves.
He has 13 yards rushing on 3 carries so far tonight, Jim.
Bears coming after that when they didn't get to it. The kick goes to Logan Clemens, who drops it. Now he still doesn't have the ball. I'm not sure. I think the Bears got on it, and I believe that was Arthur that was able to get on that ball. Clemens was just having a whale of a time with the ball just inside the 30-yard line. Hit him, handcuffed him, and then he was hit by the Apaches, and lucky for him, Connor Arthur, number 13, was sitting right there to pounce on it. It will be Bears football at the 29-yard line. Again, the main stop scoreboard has zeros on both sides. 9:09 to play in the opening quarter. First time here that the Bears will have the football here this evening. I'll tell you what, they had a bit of a drive going there, Fairview did, and one completed pass might have really set the momentum up for these guys. Bears will go with an empty backfield look now. Novus all by himself with trips right in front of us, and the little slot back right off to his left. He'll roll that way, and he'll keep the ball. And Novus will have good yardage on the first down run as he'll cross the 35 to about the 36.
Well, you know, that's what was the Bears did a good job with last week with Nobis. After Noah Bonney got injured, it was kind of Nobis and Dom James, but it was Nobis more. And he ended up with a bunch of running yards last week, and looks like you're going to try it again this week. Noah
Bonney is supposed to be playing, as according to the coach here today. He said he was really doing okay. I think that's Bryson Andrews that might be in there right now, but we'll have to check. The handoff goes to the
Dom James.
Fullback, and that is James. And James will be close to the first down as he's out to the 40-yard line. So James has enough for the first down or not? They're going to say, yeah, that's enough for the first. They weren't moving those sticks very close, but the ball's sitting right on the 40-yard line, and they had to get to about the 39 and a half to pick up the first down. So it'll be first down and 10. Bears ball, 8:25 to play, opening quarter. First down of the night for the Golden Bears as Novus now all by himself in that backfield. Trips to the top on the visitor's side. Novus will roll that direction. Then he stops and fires and into coverage, and it's knocked away. He was trying to go to Evan Smith, and even Groves was right there to knock that football away. So a nice job by Groves. In fact, that was Bostetter and Groves too. Groves got him first. Bostetter came in and helped him out. So that'll set a second down and 10 here and stop the clock at 8:10 in the first quarter. I'll tell you what, it was a pretty decent pass, but very good coverage by Groves, who timed that up perfectly.
And he was just right over top of him. No way, even if he made that catch, that wasn't going to stay complete.
Dean's in the slot on the visitor's side with a receiver out farther on his side, and we've got one wide receiver, that's Andrews, right in front of us right now. James in the backfield. They'll throw the ball up to Smith. He's got the ball along the visitor's sideline, and he'll advance it to the 45-yard line before he's knocked down there by, again, Ian Groves.
Guy's doing everything.
Groves is all over the field, and again, that's what the coaches said for the Bryan. That pickup of about 5, third down now and 5 for the Bears as the clock moves under 8 minutes here in the opening quarter. Fairview had the football, looked like they were driving it. A drop pass gave the ball basically back to the Golden Bears. Now the Bears have their big tight end, Devontae Royster, lined up on the visitor's sideline. Let's see if they'll throw him the ball. Andrews goes in motion from the home side to the visitor's side. Quarterback keeper, and Nobis will get about 3 of them. He'll be close to about the 48-yard line, 47 and a half. And that'll set up an interesting decision for the coach, and it didn't take him very long. He says, I need my punter, and I need him right now.
Yeah. You know, it's you know, in high school and college, this might be a gopher. But in high school, you usually kick this one away.
Well, the one thing you want to look at, you know, you've got number 10 right there, Miller, lined up at the 40-yard line. He is basically the lone blocker in the backfield, and that is your backup quarterback, as Smith drops back to kick. And he'll get the snap and kick a high angling kick that will be fielded at about the 26-yard line, and that is Doug Rakes that pulled that one in. He'll take a step forward. They'll mark him actually at the 27-yard line, almost the 28, and it will be Fairview football for the second time tonight with 6:48 to play here in the opening period. Fairview did a pretty decent job the first time they had the football, Chris. They just couldn't complete that one long pass. And thank goodness if you're a Golden Bears fan, because that might have really set the Apaches on fire here tonight.
They got a mismatch down here. 3 wideouts, one defender.
Toss is going to go out to Keenan Jackson, and Jackson gets a block. He's across the 40. He's across midfield. He's into Bears territory. Wrestled down inside the Bears 40 at about the 38-yard line. And you saw it coming, Chris. It was right there. It was Logan Clemens that made the tackle to throw him out of bounds in Bears territory at the 38-yard line, but not before he advanced that football. 23, what's he got, about almost 40 yards.
34-yard pickup on that one.
There you go.
The problem was there was only one Bryan defender out there, one safety, and you had 3 wideouts. And again, they're lined up 3 wide, plus a tight end. And so now you've got 2 out there, but there's the rover back that's going to need to watch that other guy. Now weird formation.
Now they'll shift everybody to the visitor's side as well, but there's still doubles on the home side. Quarterback will keep this one. He's going to try to get around right end, and he's going to find an awful lot of purple pants and white jerseys in front of him as he gets a couple of yards there. Jackson Hart. Hart will advance it to about the 37-yard line, give him 2. And again, a little misdirection with everything that the Apaches are trying to do tonight, as they're showing the Bears some different looks here early on. See how that Bear defense reacts to it here.
He's got a long one on that one.
Franks, Rakes, and Bostatter now in the ball game, and lined up to the top. Now Bostatter comes back around to the tight end spot here on the home side. 2 running backs in the backfield. Quarterback will fake, and he'll roll towards the home side. Around the end, and he'll run out of real estate after he gets poked out. Down around the 36-yard line. Give him about a yard. Credit that tackle to Joe Feder, and make it 3rd down now and 8 for the Apaches with 5:45 to play here in the first quarter, and no score between the Fairview Apaches and the Golden Bears. Second drive of the night for the Apaches. Bears have had the ball 1 time. Both teams with a first down or 2 in their opening drives. The Apaches trying to mount a good drive right now as they have the ball on the Bryan 36-yard line. They'll send doubles to both sides. 2 guys in the slot, 2 wide out. Now they'll throw a 3rd slot receiver, Ian Groves, on the visitor's side. Quarterback drops. Now he'll go to run, and he's going to run out of real estate. Bears all over the place. Matt Harold was the very first guy that got there, and then he had a whole lot of help. Also in on the tackle, Connor Ford. And he also got some help from... let's see, Joe Fenner lost about a yard. It'll set up 4th down and 9. And now with the ball on the Golden Bears 33-yard line, the Apaches appear to be ready to punt this thing away. Thomas Vance is their putter, and he will be standing in Apaches territory at their 49-yard line. Bears have a single man back, that's Logan Clemens, and they will kick, and they'll try to angle that kick, and Clemens comes up and fair catches this time at the 11-yard line, and he held on to that football a little bit better than he did the first time. So the Bears will have the football back with 4:53 to play in the first quarter as we change sides here on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Where are they marking that? The 11?
Ball at the 11-yard line. First down and 10 Golden Bears. Bears are right to the huddle and ready to go. And Novus, the quarterback, he'll send Smith and Clemens along with Dean up to the visitor side. Dean will be the middle receiver of the triples up there. Got a flanker on the same side. Now he brings Dean in motion back towards the home side. Novus keeps this, looking for room, and he's got some off left tackle. Across the 20, breaks in the tackle, and he's out to the 25. That'll be enough for a first down as he picks up about 14 on first down. And a nice job by that offensive line to be able to do a good job of opening the hole. Tonight,
yeah, nice job by Zach Novus to just come there and
ran behind that left side.
Yep.
Tyler Hartsock and Chemi Sanchez. Sanchez back in the game after having a week off last week with a bad wheel. Travis Beck's your center. Keegan Brown at the right guard and Ian Moore at the right tackle. Again, trips on the top side for the Bears. They have a running back, and that is James in the backfield with Novus. He's to his right.
Blitz coming.
Throws the ball up to Dean, who gets a block on that flanker screen. He's across the 30, looking for another block, won't get one. He'll be run out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Knocked out by Thomas L.T. Hall after Dean gets a good 8 yards on first down. So a nice pickup on that little flanker screen to the visitor side. Clock down to 4:14, and it stopped as they went out of bounds. Main stop scoreboard still deadlocked at 0, as neither teams have been able to really mount much of a drive here early on. Smith and Dean right in front of us now on the home side. Single wide receiver to the top. James again in the backfield. They'll hand it to him. He'll go straight up the middle, and he'll run into too many black jerseys. Fairview tonight in their dark black, in their all black uniforms, black pants, black shirts, black helmets with the gold trim and numbers. And the Bears tonight in their purple pants with their white jerseys and their purple numbers and gold helmets. And the Bears will set on a 3rd down and 1 now.
James picked up a yard. It looked like he was hit before he got to the line, back to the line, but they gave him a yard.
So it'll be Bears football with James in the backfield again. Doubles go to the top, singles bound to the bottom. Let's see what Novus will do here. Seems like there's a lot of people in the middle, and it looks like Fairview got a little anxious and they jumped off sides.
Yep, that'll be an offsides on them.
Looked like it was maybe Braxton Singer in the middle of that line. We'll have to take a look. Yep, I think that's who it was, 56, the junior nose guard. He was right next to the ball, and that's the one that frustrates the coaches the most. He's sitting there right next to the guy snapping the football, and yet he's a little too anxious and he jumps offside. 3.5 minutes now to play in the opening quarter, and again, nobody scored, but that's a first down now for the Bears as they keep the drive alive at their 39-yard line. James again, the only back in the backfield, triples down on the bottom side. Novus looking to throw. Now he'll roll towards his right. Now he looks again. He just throws one up in the air. It's almost intercepted by Ian Groves. He was coming back to Devontae Royster, but I'll tell you, a bad decision.
Terrible decision.
Really needed to just throw that one as far as he could out of bounds instead of trying to throw that one across the field and give a chance for an Ian Groves type of athlete to scoop that one up. And we're fortunate to have that football still.
There was a mismatch down here. We had trips down close to us and only 2 defenders. They were going to rely on that corner, that safety, back free safety to cover a guy. Had 10 yards on him.
Clement Smith and Dean right in front of us right now on the home side. Novus will drop it. He has some time. Now he's running out of time. He'll run towards the visitor sideline. He's out across the 40, breaks a tackle, and scampers out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. So Novus with a pickup of about 7, maybe 8. And it'll set up a 3rd down now. And in fact, they're going to say he stepped out at the 45 instead of the 47.
45. Yes.
So give him only about 6 on that carry, but it'll set up 3rd down now and 4. Clock stopped at 3:02 to play here in the opening quarter. So far, pretty even match, and I expected that with these two teams right now. Programs about in the same spot with one another. Clemens goes wide out to the visitor side on the short side of the field. They've got doubles right in front of us here. That's Smith and Dean. Novus drops back and he's looking. Got a little screen pass set up, and that's James, and he made one miss. He's got some room. Middle of the football field, he'll have the first down. He'll be close to midfield, be tackled right there at the 49. And it was Luke Timbrook that made the tackle, but not before the Bears, I believe, pick up the first down.
They're going to measure that.
Again, the ball game being brought to you tonight on the Q96.5 FM and BryanSports.com by newcomer Schaefer, Spangler, and Brininger. Amerimaid Realty, American Family Insurance, Starks Heating and Cooling, Thiel Supply, Fair Auto Repair, Bryan Ford, Northwest State Community College, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Krill Funeral Home and Crematory, the athletic boosters of the Bryan Schools, Darrow Shirkey Ford, Oval and Turnbull, and by Bryan Municipal Utilities and their high-speed internet and cable service. And don't forget, tomorrow night on Saturday night at 7 o'clock, you can watch the replay of this football game as long as you have Bryan Cable on Channel 3. Ooh, this one's close.
That's
first
down, though.
Just what we needed.
Yep, absolutely.
If that ball was about a half an inch shorter, Chris, we'd been playing for the fourth down, and that would have made an interesting decision right there.
You line up and go under, or go. If you can't pick up half a yard, you go. I always go for it on fourth down.
Attaboy, you're a gambler, man. That's what I like about you. 2 minutes and 53 seconds to play in this opening quarter. It has been scoreless on the main stop scoreboard. As we rack the clock and get things going again, James again in the backfield along with Novus. He's to his right side. They'll bring Clemens in motion to the home side, leave two receivers to the top. Novus is a straight run all the way. He'll cross into Apache territory as he gets a couple to about the 49-yard line. Bostetter on the tackle. Give him a good solid 2 yards. It'll set up second down and 8 now, and the clock moves at 2:26 to play in the opening quarter. Perfect night. Great crowd on hand tonight,
absolutely.
Chris. It's just been a wonderful night for football. No doubt about that. Smith, Clemens, and Dean go to the top on the visitor's side. Empty backfield again, and James again on the slot on that visitor's side as well. Royster, the only guy on the other side at tight end. He throws the ball to Smith, and he's got it. And it'll be close to the 43-yard line before a passel of Apaches wrap him up and knock him down. Give the tackle to Zedek and Hess, but there were 3 or 4 more black shirts around him. It'll set up a third down and a long one or a short 2 here for the Golden Bears. Ball sitting on the 42-yard line. Really make it just 1 because they've got to go down to just the 41, so it's really a solid yard and no more. Royster now on tight end at the visitor's side on the short side of the field, and the triples come in front of us here. And they brought Bryson Andrews, who goes in motion towards the visitor's side. James again in the backfield, and they'll turn and hand the ball to James, and he'll have the first down. Nice job on the left side of that offensive line to open up a hole, and James goes across the 40 down to about the 38-yard line, and with 1 minute and 18 seconds to play in the first quarter, the Bears move the sticks one more time.
Nice drive by the Golden Bears so far, Jim.
I'll tell you what, I like watching those guys just putting the big uglies to work down inside and allowing them to move that line of scrimmage a little bit for them. Not that Fairview's is a small team up front, but they have enough size and enough muscle there on that front line that they ought to be able to run that football tonight for chunks of yardage all night long. Single to the top, double to the bottom. Novus drops, throws a little flanker pass out to Bonnie, and Bonnie says, wow, number 47, that's my number. What's he doing hitting me? Luke Timbrook sized him up and dropped him for a loss of about 5 yards on that screen pass. Saw that one coming, so I guess one thing we can say is that Noah Bonnie's okay. He got right up off the ground and went right back to the huddle. Coach said it was a little aggravation back in the back of the neck. It wasn't anything very serious from last week, but precaution said that we keep him out and not let him go back into that Woodward game. But it wasn't anything as serious as what we had feared early on. Bears will go with doubles to the top, and that's Clemens and Smith. Doubles to the bottoms, and that's Andrews and I think Dean. And Bonnie again in the backfield. Novus wants to throw. Now he's being pressured, and he's going to be dropped right at the midfield stripe. That's Hunter Bostetter, the junior middle linebacker, who caused the disruption in the backfield. And just as we were bragging about that offensive line, they gave up a couple of bad plays.
Yep,
that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. We'll call it 1 in the books, and the main stop scoreboard says it's 0-0 here at Fairview.
When you purchase a pre-owned vehicle from someone other than Bryan Ford Lincoln, you can't be sure where it came from. When you're not sure where it came from, you may find things in the trunk that may not belong there. When you find things in the trunk that may not belong there, you may eventually run into the guys who do know where they belong. Don't be the guy who finds things in the trunk that don't belong there. Buy your pre-owned vehicle from Bryan Ford Lincoln.
Looking for career opportunities? They're closer than you think. Northwest State has more than 70 degree and certificate programs, so you can start on the path to a rewarding career or take your existing skills to a whole new level. Your future is knocking. What are you waiting for? Opportunities await at Northwest State Community College. Find out more at northweststate.edu.
Back out at Fairview on the Golden Bear Sports Network. First quarter stats. Bryan had 5 first downs to Fairview's 2. Bryan was 2 of 3 on third down. 53 total yards for the Golden Bears, 84 total yards for Fairview. And Bryan was 5 of 7 passing, Fairview 2 of 4 passing. There's some quick stats for you.
We flip-flop ends, but for the Golden Bears, it really makes no difference as the ball's right at midfield, and it is third down and a mile, 22 to go for the Golden Bears, who'll send 3 wide receivers right in front of us. Smith's the farthest and the closest to us. Dean in the middle. And the Bears looking to pick up at least part of this. They'll throw a flanker screen to Andrews, and Andrews is really going to get a very minimal gain. One thing that's got to happen is when you're going to have 3 wide receivers out here, that's what happened in the good old days. 2 of them had to do some blocking.
Yep.
If you don't do any blocking, then you have some major problems. And Ian Groves ran right past the would-be blockers who gave him that Olay look. And he got into the 49-yard line of Fairview and no farther. And it sets up a 4th down now and 21. And they'll kick this football away. Caleb Frank will go back deep. And he'll be joined back there by Doug Rakes. Rakes here on the home side and Frank on the top. Bears going to kick this thing away. Nice high spiraling kick. It is fielded at the 23-24-yard line, and that's where Fairview will open up their play here in the second quarter. Just underway, second quarter, no score on the main stop scoreboard, and it's been a very, very interesting football game so far, Chris.
Yep. You know, they've been trading drives, and you know, Bears got into a little bit of trouble last time, couldn't get anything going, and made it tough.
Fairview had the only real opportunity in that very first drive, a long pass of about 35 yards that the young freshman Doug Rakes dropped when he was wide open down around the 30-yard line of the Bears. Fairview sends a man in motion, and the quarterback will keep it, come right up the middle of the field. He'll get short gains from the 26-yard line, 27-yard line is where they're actually going to say Jackson Hart ended up. Give him 3 on first down. Bears with a pretty good job there. Connor Ford making the tackle for the Golden Bears in the middle of that pile. So it sets up second down. And Aaron Lehman also for the Bears, 51 in the ball game at this point in time, playing that right tackle spot. Quadruple receivers to the top, and now they switch around. They'll bring their single receiver and make him a tight end on the home side, and they'll try to run that direction with a little power sweep to Ian Groves, and Groves not going very far as he'll get close to the 30-yard line, be stopped at about the 29. And Nate Miller, the young guy that made the tackle for the Bears, and it'll set up a third down now and about 4.
Taking a look at some scores from around the region. Hicksville over Eden, 7-0 first quarter. It's Liberty Center, 13-0 over Woodward. St. Mary's up 7-0 on Van Wert. Evergreen and Ottawa Hills are tied.
Zedek split wide on the wide side of the field. The next guy in is Zach Hess from him. And they've got a receiver in the slot on that same side. They've got doubles on the home side with Caleb Frank being the wideout. And an empty backfield right now for Jackson Hart, who looks down at his wristband and calls out the signals. He'll drop straight back and look to throw. He's running out of time, throws it across the middle.
I don't think he caught that.
It was Ian Groves that hit him on the hands, but Groves couldn't pull it in, and a good job by the Bears to do a little pressure on that one. I believe it was Nate Miller that made the hit as the ball got there, and Groves could not hang on to it, and that'll set up a 4th down now and 4 for the Apaches, who will have to kick this ball back. And it could come down to just field position tonight,
absolutely.
Chris. And here's an opportunity for the Bears as they'll send back Logan Clemens. He'll be standing on his own 43-yard line as Thomas Vance will kick from his 15. Nice snap, gets it away, good high hanging kick, And a fair catch is made at the Bears' 46-yard line, and they're going to say his knee was down initially at the 45. So that's where he'll get the football. So that's about a 36-yard kick, now a 26-yard kick.
26-yard kick.
9:29 to play here in the second quarter. Golden Bears with the football, and they need to really start to put something into play, I would think, here.
Paulding over Antwerp, 8-0 first quarter. Edgerton over Montpelier, 7-0. Wasion Napoleon tied at 0, as is Tenora and Delta. Patrick Henry up 8-6 over Columbus Grove.
Andrews is split out to the short side of the field, which is the visitor's side right now. Doubles on the bottom side. Royster in at tight end on that short side. They'll look for the crossing route, and they have Dean. And Dean, I thought he made the catch, but he took a big hit, and the ball ended up on the ground. Nice job by Hunter Bostatter to apply some serious pressure on Austin Dean. Ball thrown the only place that it could, down low, and Dean took a good shot about 8 yards out and lost the football in Apache territory. So it'll set up a second down and 10 as the clock stops with 9:23 to play, quarter number 2 here of this football game. I think that's James back in at running back, or is that Bonnie? No,
that's
it's James again. And James on the draw play will be close to midfield as he picks up about 3 on that second down run. In fact, give him 4. And now move the stick back a little bit. Give him 3.5. How's that? But that's okay. They'll say 4. Third down and 6 for the Bears. Football on about the 49-yard line of the Golden Bears, and they need to get to the Apaches 45. James again, the only running back. He's to the left of the quarterback. Doubles to the top, singles to the bottom. Oh, and Royster jumps offside early. I don't know whether that was going to Devontae or what, but he got fancy feet.
The right side of the Fairview line jumped, but got back. So.
And Devontae came out of his stance and started to take a step downfield, and with that, the whistles blew, the flags came out of the pockets, and the 5-yard penalty will set up a third down and 11 for the Bryan Golden Bears as they march their way back in a little deeper into their territory at the 44-yard line.
3rd and 6 is different than 3rd and 11, Jim.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Doubles to the top, single to the bottom, single running back to the left of the quarterback. High snap, and he pulls it down. He has time, and he's going to float this one deep. Going for Andrews along the sideline, and it went through his hands at the 25-yard line and not caught.
I'll tell you what, they're letting him play, aren't they?
Yep, they are. Little hand contact all the way up and down the field, but that's the way it's been going for both sides.
Yep.
And that ball was really right on the money.
Yeah, it was. Andrews
just needs to pull those in. Bryson's going to have to make those catches if they're going to pull them down. You know, the coaches were telling me early on that this was a true, this set of receivers were even better than the receivers we saw back in Shimmy's day, and I've yet to see it because any, little Nate Rao or any of those guys, Derek Nisley would have pulled that ball in, and we'd be sitting down 1st and 10 at the 35. High kick will be fair caught inside the 25 at about the 24-yard line by Doug Rakes. And the Apaches will have the football again with 8:16 to play here in the second quarter, and nobody has really mounted a drive tonight that even resembled scoring potential.
Bears have had 2 drives of the punt. Fairview, 2 drives of the punt.
8:16, the clock is stopped. Got a shout out to my buddy Bob Kloppenstein tonight, who's listening out there, and it's good to have you with us, Bob. Fairview empties the backfield. They've got doubles to the top and triples to the bottom, and the Bears spread their defense out accordingly. Quarterback's going to go right up the middle. He'll break the first tackle at the 30-yard line, and then he'll be swarmed under at about the 31. Ford was the first guy that kind of wrapped him and slowed him. And then with that, it was Matt Harrell that came back and finished him off. Give him a pickup of 2, set the ball on the 26-yard line or just inside the 26, and make it second down and 8. Clock moving, 7:48 to play, quarter number 2. Pretty good football game and a beautiful, beautiful night out here in the country, just outside of Sherwood, Ohio.
Yep.
2 receivers to the top. Now they're going to move one of them back over to the home side. That's Zach Hess, and now they've got 4 receivers here on the home side. And they'll throw that little flanker screen and a bad throw to Ian Groves. In fact, that's Caleb Frank, number 1. Frank was kind of coming backwards, and Jackson Hart was throwing the ball out in front of him, so that little flanker screen was going nowhere. And the pass will go incomplete. It'll set up a 3rd down and 8. All of the backs and the quarterbacks come to the sideline and talk to Coach Rakes for a minute or two. And now they deploy. Hunter Bostatter will go wide to the visitor side, the short side in the top of the field. Zach Hess will be the flanker back on that side, and then Trips on our home side. They'll roll that way. Hart looking to throw. He's running out of time. Breaks the tackle. Now he reverses his field, and he heads back up to the visitor side, and he's not going to get very far, as Matt Harold was right there to pull him down. Nice job by Harold to keep him at no gain. Hart thought he was going to have some room if he just reversed field a little bit. And Harold was right there to knock him down. Yeah, there was a loss of 1, wasn't it, huh?
Yep.
So 4th down now and 9, and the Bears again starting to win this field position situation, Chris, if they can just get this moving.
Need to get some offense going.
Clemens stands just inside the 50, waiting on the punt by Thomas Vance. Good snap. Vance has it. Here comes the pressure, but he gets it away. It's a nice high kick. They'll fair catch it right at the 49-yard line.
The penalty flag comes in.
And a late flag, I think, will be on interference on Apaches, because as Logan Clemens was taking a step forward to try to make that catch, he had black jerseys all around him, and I don't think they gave him enough room to make that catch, and then the flags came out immediately. We'll just make sure that that's exactly what they call. We're down to 6:35 to play here in this opening period. Coach Redhead's having his conversation with the official from the sideline. About a step or two onto the grass, and he's looking for a guy with a striped shirt to see what's going on. He's already accepted the penalty. They've not actually defined it yet, but he's ready to take whatever they're going to give him and send this thing right into Apache territory, I can tell you that. Long conversation between the officials, and now we'll get their call.
Block in the back on Bryan.
Okay,
Fairview,
so they're going to be offsetting here. That's why it took so long. So we're going to replay 4th down as a block in the back by the Bears and encroachment there by the Apaches on the catch will offset, and we'll head back to that original line of scrimmage, which was the 25-yard line of Fairview, and kick this thing all over again. Logan Clemens again standing right on the 50 now. The way he's been doing it is he'll stand there for a minute and then take a step or two back. Young again waiting, or Vance again waiting for the snap. Another good snap. Vance kicks it, and he's got a real spinner this time. Boy, that's going to be a tough one to catch, and it's going to take an Apache's bounce. It hits on about the 42-yard line, spins its way down inside the 35, and is down at the 34-yard line. So the Bears looking to maybe have some decent field position thanks to that punt. Now we'll all of a sudden see the fields flip on them just a little bit, Chris.
Yep, that was a 41-yard punt when it took the roll into account.
Yeah, and it was a tough one, too, because that was one of those end-over-end spinners, and I don't blame Logan Clemens for getting away from that one. That looked like just a disaster waiting to happen. And when he let it bounce, it took a Fairview bounce and got an extra 7 or 8 yards on that roll. So the Bears will have the football. They'll be at their own 34-yard line, 1st and 10. They'll split everybody out to the visitor side, which is the wide side of the field. Nobody in the backfield. Nobis all by himself.
They're coming.
He'll roll that way, away from the pressure, and he'll throw into the flats. He's got his guy. I believe that was Smith. Smith will have a short pickup of about 3, and the ball will be marked down at the 39-yard line, giving 4, so almost 5.
Almost 5. I'm giving him 5.
Didn't look like it was going to go very far. Nobis rolled towards the visitor sideline and just tossed one off to Smith, and Smith then leaped forward just a little bit, lunged a little bit, and got that extra yard or 2 by lunging forward. Again, empty backfield, nobody on the short side of the field on the home side. Everybody's on the visitor side. Everybody's on the home side. Nova's going to fire this one deep.
Penalty flag.
Dean's fighting for the football. It's going to come up short, and we'll just have to see what the flag is all about. Looks like the Bears are happy about it, so it might be against.
Could be a chop block.
Fairview here. We'll just see what's going on.
Where is the flag at?
I've still not seen it, Chris. How's that?
It's on the. It was on the.
There it is. It's
36.
Face mask against the Apaches. There you go. We'll take that one. That'll set up a first down for the Bears as we're going to march this one.
Is it a 10-yarder?
15. Across the 50 and into Fairview territory and marked down at the Fairview 46-yard line. So we've not been able to make it happen with the offense so far, but that penalty maybe has changed our perspective on the world here just a little bit. 5:41 to play here in the opening half. Nobody's been able to score. The main stop scoreboard says 0-0 right now. Don't forget Thirsty Thursdays around Northwest Ohio at the main stops for the rest of the month of September. We'll tell you a little more about that as we go. Dean comes in motion from the top side to the bottom side. In fact, that's Clemens. They'll keep the ball with Zach Nobis, and he'll go right up the middle of the field in the quarterback draw. He'll get 3. As he advances it down to about the 43-yard line, it'll be first or second down now and 7 for the Bears. And the clock keeps moving. Be nice to see the Bears punch this one in right at the end of the half, because they do get the football to open up the third quarter. Royster is tight on the visitor side. That's the short side of the field. 4 wide receivers here right in front of us. Smith is the one closest to us. Empty backfield. Nobis rolls towards that home sideline. Now he'll keep it. Cuts in off tackle down to about the 41-yard line. He'll get a couple. And so far, I tell you what, the Fairview Apaches have done a nice job of covering receivers in that secondary. And Nobis's best option oftentimes has been to fake the pass and tuck it and run.
Well, you know, we've seen him grow up a little bit. Last year, he might have tried to make bad passes, and so far this season, I've only seen him make about 2 really bad passes.
Exactly. Good to see him pull it down and get 2 or 3.
Yep, absolutely.
And try to throw it away. Smith will be the wide receiver now on the visitor's side, which is the wide side of the field. Trips to the top, signal back to the left of Zach Nobis.
Yeah, you got to snap it right there.
And now we have all kinds of movement and confusion. You had Fairview Apaches moving into the encroachment area there, but the Bears did not snap the ball. And then there were some Bears moving, and they're going to get that call against the Bears, and rightfully so.
If the Bears had just snapped the ball there, that would have been a offsides on the defense.
The 5-yard penalty takes the ball back out to the 46-yard line and makes it
third and 10.
Third down and 10, and that ball just got kicked, so we're going to have to move that one backwards a little bit. Accidentally, one of the Fairview players kicked it, and it went another couple of yards back towards the Bears' end zone. Triples again go to the top. They're on the visitor side of the field. That's the wide side of the field. Again, a single running back in the backfield. That's James right next to Nobis on his left side. Throwing a screen pass to James, and it's over his head, and that wasn't going anywhere anyway, because that had been pretty much snuck out by number 60 from Fairview. As we take a look at that young guy, I don't even have a 60 on their roster right now. Somebody changed numbers on us this week, Chris. How's that?
Was it sure wasn't 50?
No, it was 60, unfortunately. 50 would have been a good number, but that would have been Alex Lehman, so we're just going to have to say it was Alex Lehman, and I've got bad eyesight, and that's, we all know is the case. So
it's possible.
We'll take that one. How's that? 3:52 as the Bears going to have to kick this one away. Bad snap, but it's salvaged. Kick by Miller kind of off the side of his foot, but it takes a pretty decent path. Hits at about the 23-yard line and then jumps out of bounds on the Fairview side. And it would be first down and 10 Fairview, and they say it went out at the 24-yard line of Fairview. So Fairview with the football with 3:44 to play here in this first half.
24-yard punt there, Jim, on what was a terrible snap that hit the deck.
Man, I'll tell you what, we've had our share of those this year.
That long snapping has not been very good this year.
Nope, it's been kind of tough. You know, I watched a young guy the other night on TV from University of Southern California, a blind guy that was snapping.
Yep.
Wasn't that fun to watch him?
Absolutely.
Maybe we need to recruit his younger brother or something like that right now. Doubles to the top and the bottom. They'll send Groves on the flank, and they throw it to Groves, and that ball's behind him. Nope, they're going to say it was an incompleted pass. That looked like a lateral to me.
Yes, it did.
Hart was trying to set up that little halfback screen pass out to Groves, and if they were anything, they were parallel to one another. Yep. But that sure looked like it was a lateral to me, and Groves let it sit on the ground. A couple Bears came after it. He scooped it up, and then they whistled everything dead. So it'll go as an incompleted pass, and it will stop the clock with 3:38 to play here in the second quarter.
That was also holding on the left side of the Fairview offense that they missed.
Franks goes to the top along with Keenan Jackson now on the wide side of the field, and now the Fairview will call a timeout with 3:38 to play in the half. We'll take one with them. Scoreboard shows 0-0. We're at Fairview on Golden Bear Sports Network.
Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is committed to providing you the best value for your insurance dollar. We are an agency built on integrity, offering personal service and sound advice you can trust. That's why we partner with experienced carriers like the Central Mutual Insurance Company for your auto, home, or business insurance needs. Central's quality insurance products are reasonably priced and backed by prompt, professional service, providing value for your peace of mind. Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is your local Central agent. Call us today at 419-636-5050.
At Krill Funeral Service, we are professionals with the sincere desire to reward every family who have placed their trust and confidence in us by being attentive to every detail, displaying the highest level of courtesy and compassion, and providing the greatest measure of respect for their wishes. As remembrance planners, our goal is to help families find joy in the way they choose to remember, honor, and celebrate the wonderful life of their loved one. Krill Funeral Service, we are experts at helping hearts heal.
Groves was the fellow who was trying to make something happen. He lost the ball at about the 15. It rolled back to about the 10. And then we had handkerchiefs all over the field, and you've got to believe, you would think it's going to be a holding call against Fairview, because that one just looked like basically a fire muster there for a little while.
Yeah,
we kind of got back here all of a sudden, and things just fell apart right away. The pitch went back to Groves, who couldn't handle it, and basically knocked it backwards an extra 3 or 4 yards.
Penalty markers down at the 12.
Scooped it back up down around the 8 or 9 yard line, tried to come forward, and we have a holding call against Fairview. There are 2 flags on the ground. I think everybody saw the same thing. The Bears have a little bit of a decision to make now.
They declined it.
I don't blame them, because it will set up now a 3rd down and about 20.
Where's the ball? The ball's at the 10.
Ball's at the 10 right now. If they would have taken the penalty, it'd have been about the same situation, but it had been 2nd down, and now it's 3rd down and 24, as they have to get all the way out to the 34-yard line. The 10 yards would have done about the same thing, but the down goes away by declining the penalty. And a smart move by Coach Redhead, and we have another timeout on the football field by the Bears.
Take it,
All right, 3:24 to play here in the opening half. 0-0 as we step away from Fairview.
They say there is strength in numbers. In Bryan, we have always taken pride in supporting our Golden Bear student athletes in all of their sporting endeavors. The Bryan Athletic Boosters now have a chance for you to get into the game. If you're Bryan proud, it's time to become Bryan strong. Whether you were a BHS athlete, are raising a BHS athlete, or just love supporting our Bryan High School athlete, this is your chance to be part of the BHS sporting community. Talk to any board member today on how easy it is to join, or contact us at 419-636-4536.
Back out at Fairview, interesting one at Hicksville as Eden is down 14-6 to the Aces. Liberty Center over Woodward now 21-6, and St. Mary's up 14-0 on Van Wert.
Right here at 0-0 with 3:24 to play here in the first half, as the Golden Bears on defense trying to keep Fairview in the shadow of their own end zone, as they have the football on their own 10-yard line right now. 3rd down and long. Hart drops back. He'll throw a little flanker screen at the 10-yard line. Bears start to converge. Play will get out to about the 25-yard line, which gets 15 of the 24 that they need, and they'll set up a 4th down now and about 9. And with 3:07 to play in this first half, the Golden Bears are about ready to get this football back. Thomas Vance comes in. Bears drop Logan Clements to his own 45-yard line. And now he'll work his way back up to midfield. Clock runs all the way down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and Coach Rakes then takes a timeout. He was trying to run that clock down as far as he could. With that, we'll take a timeout. 2:27 to play in the first half, 0-0 here at Fairview on the Bryan Golden Bear Sports Network.
You know, gathering with those we love, we get to catch up and we get to reflect on the past.
It seems like every time we get together, I always learn something new.
Here's the front page of the Columbus Dispatch when he won state baseball tournament, sliding into home plate.
Look at that, the front page, and that's a neat picture.
That was a great memory. I'll never forget that.
At Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, we understand that there are special memories that need to be remembered and shared.
We are professionals with the sincere
All right, back out here on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Punt time, hopefully. I don't think they'd be dumb enough to go for it, right?
No, I think they're going to have to punt this one away, no doubt about it. Low snap. Ball gets kicked away, and is kicked away from all the Golden Bears. It'll roll inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line. That's where it'll be down. The Bears will have the football right there.
A 31-yard punt that just dies.
2:19 to play. .219 to play here in the first half, as the Bears will have the football on their 43-yard line. First down and 10. Bears will send two wide receivers to the home side, and that is Smith and Dean. Dean in the slot, single wide receiver to the top. They'll turn and hand the ball to James,
what a
and he
hole.
has some room. He'll be across the midfield stripe and into Fairview territory on first down. 2:07 to play as Singer makes the tackle there for the Fairview Apaches.
Right at the 50.
Bears will have the football second down now at about 4. Quarterback drops and throws it across the That's Dean. He's got it. 40, 35, 30, 20, 10. He's on his way to the house. Golden Bears going to score before the half with 1:43 to play here in this opening half.
What a nice move. Dean just made a great route. He was able to make the first guy miss and then take it the rest of the way to the house.
Austin Dean, what they used to call a post route, as he came right across the middle, and when he got to that second layer, there were no black shirts. And when they realized what was happening, it was way too late. As Austin Dean, it was foot race time, and he took it to the end zone. So the Bears, with 1:42 to play here in this first half, go up 6-0 here.
It wasn't a huge pass. It was only about a 10, 12-yard pass, but he made all that happen with his feet just on that crossing route across the field.
Quick little slant right across the middle of that football field, hit him right where he needed to be. He'd gotten past that defensive back, as you said, Chris, and it was kind of in the seam of that zone. As Evan Smith comes on to try the extra point. Miller to hold. Decent snap, but this one's blocked. And again, guess who? Ian Groves was the young guy that came off the corner. Snap was a little bit low. Miller had to pick it up and set it down. By that time, Groves was right there. So with 1:42 to play in the opening half, the Bears on top on the main stop scoreboard, 6-0 here on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Tonight's broadcast of Golden Bear Sports is proudly streamed by BMU Cable and High-Speed Internet. BMU is your hometown local provider for digital HD cable and high-speed internet. Call BMU today at 419-633-6100 or visit us on the web at cityofbryan.net. Go Bears from all of us at BMU.
Back here at Apache Land in Fairview, 1:42 to play in the first half, and the Bears on a 50-yard strike there by Austin Dean from Zach Nobis are now up 6-0. The extra point was blocked. Fairview will have the football one more time. They have, let's see, one timeout left as they burned 2 on that last drive.
Bears' first 4 drives were punts.
Yeah.
Before that touchdown drive. Fairview's first drive ended in a fumble, and the next 4 drives for them were punts. So not a whole lot of offense. Fairview only with 2 first downs on the whole night. Bryan with 6.
So the Bears are going to kick things back to a very dangerous Ian Groves.
Yes, he is very dangerous.
And Groves will stand at his 9-yard line and wait for this kick. And they'll kick it to him. He'll field it in the air at the 9, straight up the middle of the football field, looking for some blocks across the 30 and tumble down at the 33. So it'll be first down and 10 now for the Fairview Apaches, who have the football at the 33-yard line. About a 23-yard return, and a nice job by the Bears to be able to knock him down and keep him where they wanted him. Jackson Hart comes off the sideline after talking to the coach. And as they do, they will send Caleb Frank wide to the visitor side, the short side of the field, and they will keep Russ Zedek here on the home side. And they will now bring in Keenan Jackson, as they had only 10 guys on the field, and Jackson will go up on that visitor side and move into the middle of a 3-way tandem on the top of the field. They'll throw the opposite way to Zedek. Zedek has the football at the Fairview 45 on the sideline, and he'll power his way into Bryan territory at the 48-yard line before the Bears are able to knock him down. Isaiah Hale and Bryson Andrews, the young guys on the tackle, but not before the Fairview Apaches get a big first down pickup. Ball now on the Bears' 48-yard line with 1 minute and 22 seconds to play here in the half. Throw again to the flat on the visitor side at the 45, and this one is caught by Zach Hess. Hess, the senior, 5'8", 175. He's their H-back. And the hurry up now started to be employed by the Apaches as they want to make sure that they take advantage of the last 58 seconds of this first half. Hart will roll our way. Bears coming at him. He gets past the first guy, but he won't get past the second and third wave of Golden Bears. And a good job by the Bears to drop him for a loss of about a yard.
There's also a penalty.
Alex Potvin, the very first guy that was in there, along with Connor Ford, and there are flags in the backfield, probably holding, because the Bears basically just collapsed that offensive line of Fairview. And a holding call will go against Fairview. Again, you can bet your last nickel coach is going to take this one, because that'll take him back into Fairview territory. They'll say the infraction happened right at midfield, and they'll take this ball back to the 40-yard line of Fairview and mark it down just inside the 40 with 46 seconds left to go in the opening half. If you missed this, the Bears scored on that last drive with a 50-yard strike to Austin Dean, and it's 6-0 here on the main stop scoreboard with 40 seconds and running. And Fairview has the ball second down and a mile. Hart drops, looking for some time. He's got it again into the flat, and another nice pass and catch, and another great tackle by the Golden Bears, as that's Nate Miller that wrapped up the receiver, Zach Hess, after he got a half a dozen. And Fairview will take their final timeout, and they stop the clock with 18.3 seconds to go. We'll take a timeout, a 30-second timeout, here on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
When you purchase a pre-owned vehicle from someone other than Bryan Ford Lincoln, you can't be sure where it came from. When you're not sure where it came from, you may find things in the trunk that may not belong there. When you find things in the trunk that may not belong there, you may eventually run into the guys who do know where they belong. Don't be the guy who finds things in the trunk that don't belong there. Buy your pre-owned vehicle from Bryan Ford Lincoln.
I'm going to check and see if it's still doing it.
Okay. It'll go good and then go back. Back here at Fairview, Jim Funderburg along with Chris Malenga, they've moved that clock back up to 20 seconds even, Chris.
Wow.
It was at 18.3. We added another second and 7/10.
Can't be clock issues here. Didn't we have clock issues before?
We have had clock issues. We've never been here before, though.
Yeah,
so
but I mean, we had
news.
clock issues elsewhere.
Zach Hess now in at quarterback as they empty out the backfield. Nope, it's not. It's Hart, 14 again. I thought it was 34. And Hart now will be running for his life as the Bears put some pressure on him in the backfield. He breaks away from a tackle at the 45. He stumbles his way to midfield. Bryson Andrews makes the final tackle right at the midfield stripe, and it will be 4th down now and 11. And it looks like the Apaches are more than happy to let the clock run out and head towards the locker room. That'll do it for the opening half. It was a good one, and the Bears scored right before the end of the half to go ahead 6-0 here on the Main Stop scoreboard. It's halftime at Fairview, and we'll step away on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Looking for career opportunities? They're closer than you think. Northwest State has more than 70 degree and certificate programs, so you can start on the path to a rewarding career. Or transfer your credits toward a bachelor's degree. Your future is knocking. What are you waiting for? Opportunities await at Northwest State Community College. Find out more at northweststate.edu.
They say there is strength in numbers. In Bryan, we have always taken pride in supporting our Golden Bear student athletes in all of their sporting endeavors. The Bryan Athletic Boosters now have a chance for you to get into the game. If you're Bryan proud, it's time to become Bryan strong. Whether you were a BHS athlete, are raising a BHS athlete, or just love supporting our Bryan High School athlete, this is your chance to be part of the BHS sporting community. Talk to any board member today on how easy it is to join, or contact us at 419-636-4536.
Halftime at Fairview, 6-0 Golden Bears lead. Here's the Bryan Golden Bear Marching Band.
We close our show with a chart known for being an 80s rock icon. In the days of Big Hair and the advent of MTV, Dee Snider and Twisted Sister were groundbreakers. Since its release in 1984 on the album Stay Hungry, it's been covered, parodied, and used in movies, television, and political campaigns. Now, I'm sure Mr. Will checks their uniforms, but someone down there just might have a Twisted Sister pin under their jacket. What do you want to do with your life? I will rock to the Bryan High School Marching Band closer. We're not going to take it by Twisted Sister.
Looking for career opportunities? They're closer than you think. Northwest State has more than 70 degree and certificate programs, so you can start on the path to a rewarding career. Or transfer your credits toward a bachelor's degree. Your future is knocking. What are you waiting for? Opportunities await at Northwest State Community College. Find out more at northweststate.edu.
Out at Fairview High School, 6-0 Golden Bears here on the Golden Bears Sports Network. You are listening to Bryan High School football on the Golden Bears Sports Network, VMU Channel 3, BryanSports.com, and WQCT Bryan. Chris Malenga here with you, and Jim Funderburg as well. Taking a look at the halftime statistics. First downs. Bryan has 6 first downs to Fairview's 3. Bryan got 2 of those first downs by passing, 3 by rushing, 1 from a penalty. Fairview has 3 first downs, 2 by passing, 1 by rushing. Bryan is 2 of 6 for third down. Fairview 1 of 7 for third down. Total offense, Bryan has 125 total yards, 120 of those for Fairview. Passing out of the 125, Bryan is 9 of 13 as Zach Novus for 75 yards, no interceptions. Meanwhile, the other way is Jackson Hart, who is 6 of 11 for 70 yards passing. Bryan and Fairview are equal in rushing, both 13 attempts, both 50 yards. Penalties, Bryan's been penalized twice for 10 yards, Fairview 3 times for 30 yards. And turnovers, Fairview fumbled twice and lost once. Bryan has not had a turnover. Bryan punted the ball 4 times, averaging 25.8 yards per punt. Fairview punted 5 times, averaging 29.8 yards per punt. Taking a look at the offensive statistics, again, Jackson Hart 6 of 11 for 70 yards, his long pass of 34. Rushing, Ian Groves has 5 attempts for 1 yard. His long was 8. He has 1 net yard. Jackson Hart 7 attempts for 12 yards. His long was 7. And Thomas Vance had 1 rush for 37 yards. Receiving, Ian Groves 2 receptions for 15 yards. Keenan Jackson 1 reception for 34 yards. Zach has 2 receptions for 6 yards. And Russ Zedek 1 reception for 15 yards. On the other side of the ball for Bryan, Zach was 8 of 13 for 75 yards. His long pass was that 50-yard touchdown pass to Zach Dean, which really was a 10-yard pass with 40 yards of running from Dean. Nobis rushing has 8 attempts for 29 yards, along with 14. Dom James, 5 attempts for 21 yards. His long rush is 7. Receiving, Austin Dean, 2 receptions for 58 yards. Again, his long was the touchdown, the 30-yarder. Evan Smith, 3 receptions for 17 yards. His long is 1. Bryson Andrews caught a ball for 1 yard. Dom James caught a ball for 4 yards. And Noah Bonney caught 1 ball for -5 yards. There you have it. There's your halftime statistics here in the BMU Business High-Speed Internet Halftime Report. BMU Business High-Speed Internet is your hometown provider. We'll be back and take a look at scores from around the area and look forward to the second half here on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Looking for career opportunities? They're closer than you think. Northwest State has more than 70 degree and certificate programs, so you can start on the path to a rewarding career or take your existing skills to a whole new level. Your future is knocking. What are you waiting for? Opportunities await at Northwest State Community College. Find out more at northweststate.edu.
Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is committed to providing you the best value for your insurance dollar. We are an agency built on integrity, offering personal service and sound advice you can trust. That's why we partner with experienced carriers like the Central Mutual Insurance Company for your auto, home, or business insurance needs. Central's quality insurance products are reasonably priced and backed by prompt, professional service, providing value for your peace of mind. Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is your local Central agent. Call us today at 419-636-5050.
Back out at Fairview, 6-0 here, Bryan, on the Golden Bears Sports Network. That scoring play came in the second quarter as Zach Nobis from his own 47-yard line threw about a 10-yard pass to Austin Dean. He ran it 50 yards to the touchdown, and then the point after touchdown, point after attempt was blocked. And Jim Rutherford will bring you back in here. And nice pass there by Nobis, and he put it right on the money. And Dean made a guy miss, and then was off to the races.
Quick little slant there. He had lined up on the right-hand side, just cut it right towards the middle, and Nobis timed him up just perfectly as he got past the coverage of the line of scrimmage. At that point in time, the one thing that the Dean boys have always been able to do is just put it into a second gear and get it on the football field. And so just like these big brothers, Austin Dean turned on the afterburners and took it to the house, and it was fun to see because at that point in time, I think I was wondering, you probably too, whether we were going to get to the end of this ball game at 0-0 and how many OTs was it going to take before somebody was able to put a point on the board.
Well, I'll tell you what, the drives up to that point, Bryan kicked off. Fairview fumbled after 6 plays and 12 yards back to the Golden Bears. Bryan punted. Then Fairview had a 35-yard drive and punted. Bryan put together a 40-yard drive and ended up punting. Fairview another 5-yard drive and punted. Bryan went backwards on a negative 1-yard drive for a punt. Fairview punted again after a 1-yard drive. Bryan punted again after a 20-yard drive. Fairview punted again. Bryan scored the touchdown after a 57-yard drive. And then Fairview had the ball for 18 yards, and that ended the half.
Wow. Yeah.
So, I mean, it was just a story of punts back and forth.
Well, when we talked to the folks from Fairview to open up this ball game before everything got started, they were telling us that, against Wauseon and against Paulding both, they had troubles with turnovers. And that has been a bit of a problem for them again here this evening. Not being able to convert on that long pass early in the football game, I thought was a momentum changer, if nothing else, because they really did. And I got a chuckle when we went down and grabbed a little pizza there when we took the break. And we talked to everybody because it was Doug Rake Jr., basically, that had the opportunity to make that catch in that very first drive for about a 35-yard pickup. Hit him right in the hands, and we all chuckled about, oh, man, that's the coach's kid.
Yeah, that's not going to be a good conversation when you get home.
Yeah, that's
all weekend he's going to get that, man.
If this one doesn't go Coach Rake's way with the Apaches here tonight, Dad and son are going to have kind of a chilly weekend, I'm sure, around the Rake's house. But that's the way that it goes. And, again, you know what? These are young guys. We always forget that. I think whenever we get into these ball games, we get so wound up in who's going to win, who's going to lose, we forget. These are young guys that are 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. They're still youngsters out there, especially when you compare them to my socks and my T-shirts, because they're all a lot older than those guys are. And they're going to drop one every now and then. And he just basically
took his eye off of it or just couldn't pull it in when he wanted to. And if he could have, it would have set him up deep in Golden Bears territory. It may have turned the entire ball game around at that point in time.
Absolutely, but as it is, it's 6-0. And let's take a look at some scores from around the region. It's Hicksville all over Eden, 35-6. St. Mary's now up on Van Wert, 28-7 at the half. It's Evergreen over Ottawa Hills, 21-3 at the half. Liberty Center up 24-6 over Woodward at the half. It's Paulding over Antwerp, 24-7 also at the half. Napoleon over Wauseon, 9-7 at the half. Ayersville and Bluffton are tied at 14 at the half. It's Edgerton over Montpelier, 20-6 at the half. Let's see, Arlington and Pandora Gilboa are tied at 0 in the third quarter. In the second quarter, it's Whitmer over Perrysburg, 35-0. At the half, Ottawa Glandorf over Bath, 17-6. Patrick Henry over Columbus Grove in the second quarter, 22-12. Liberty Benton and Lipsick are knotted at 14 at the half. It's Holgate over Hilltop, 7-6 at the half. Crestview over Wayne Trace, 33-7, second quarter. It's Swanton over Rogers in the second quarter, 35-6. Tenora and Continental are tied. All right, so we're going to take it quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have the preview of the second quarter or second half of action here on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Tonight's broadcast of Golden Bear Sports is proudly streamed by BMU Cable and high-speed internet. BMU is your hometown local provider for digital HD cable and high-speed internet. Call BMU today at 419-633-6100 or visit us on the web at cityofbryan.net. Go Bears from all of us at BMU.
Creel Funeral Service, we are professionals with the sincere desire to reward every family who have placed their trust and confidence in us by being attentive to every detail, displaying the highest level of courtesy and compassion, and providing the greatest measure of respect for their wishes. As remembrance planners, our goal is to help families find joy in the way they choose to remember, honor, and celebrate the wonderful life of their loved one. Creel Funeral Service, we are experts at helping hearts heal. When you purchase a pre-owned vehicle from someone other than Bryan Ford Lincoln, you can't be sure where it came from. When you're not sure where it came from, you may find things in the trunk that may not belong there. When you find things in the trunk that may not belong there, you may eventually run into the guys who do know where they belong. Don't be the guy who finds things in the trunk that don't belong there. Buy your pre-owned vehicle from Bryan Ford Lincoln.
Sports Network, it's 6-0 from Fairview. Golden Bears on top at the half. I want to thank our broadcast sponsors today, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Darrow Shirkey Ford, the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Creel Funeral Home and Crematory, Bryan Ford Lincoln, Northwest State Community College, Bryan Municipal Utilities, Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, and on the radio side, newcomer Schaefer Spangler and Brininger, AmeriMade Realty, American Family Insurance, Stark Seating and Cooling, Thiel Supply, and Fair Auto Repair. We are in the BMU Business High-Speed Internet halftime show, and Jim, something interesting going on, if you will. You know, we've got this hurricane, Irma, that is bearing down on Florida, and something really nice that happens when hurricanes happen is that other groups perform mutual aid, and BMU is providing some mutual aid down to the folks. There's a group going down. Kevin Rao and Brad are going down to take care of that down there, so they're going to head down. They're going to be down there leaving Sunday morning, and they're going to go down on stage and take care of putting people's power back on and things like that. And we provided them with some cameras to take with them, and so we'll be able to show you some of that footage. And it's always good, when we're in need, other groups come in and step out. Remember when we had the straight line winds down on County Road C, some of the other groups came and loaned us stuff, poles and stuff, and so we can do that. It's just great. It's utilities all working together.
It is a wonderful, wonderful situation, and you have to worry a little bit whether Kevin Rao's coming back. I mean, I've been watching him on Facebook here recently, and I think he's got a place down in Florida somewhere, and I think Kevin might just get done setting poles and stringing lines and say, it's pretty nice down here now again.
Well,
I'm going to hang. How's
he
that?
was talking before that the eye of Irma is predicted to go right over his house, basically.
Oh, gosh.
So hopefully, I've got friends down there as well that are in that path, and a couple different families and friends that are down there. And so we wish everything goes well, and of course the folks down in Houston still recovering after that. So, the wrath of the storms, the hurricane sea has just been kind of crazy, and it's nice to see BMU step it up and doing that as well.
It really is, and they fine bunch of folks to do that. I think they need to send our buddy Slim Bryce down there too. You could give him some gas and let him climb some poles down there and string some wire. I think that's what that'd be a good idea.
There you go. There you go.
All right, the Bears about ready to get this football as they deferred in the first half. And Caleb Frank about to kick it off for the Apaches, and the Bears will drop back deep. And we're kind of looking through the window right now.
Do you want me to turn the light
I think
up?
it's Austin Dean on one side. Yeah, let's turn some lights down because we're getting a lot of glare now on that light. Nope. In fact, it is Logan Clemens. Nope, it is Austin Dean. 6, not an 8 on our side. And I believe that's Bryce Wagner on the other side. Is that 24?
I think
Chris,
that might be Bryson Andrews over there.
Bryson Andrews then. It's a 2. I can see the 2.
28.
I just can't see the backside number on that. I'm going to turn that back up and just go to the hole of the glass. I think that's my best shot. Ball's kicked, and it's bounced around through a couple of different Bryan Golden Bears and then eventually picked up and advanced out to about the 35-yard line. Boy, that looked like pinball there for a while. There were 3 or 4 guys around it. And eventually, it was Spencer Winsler that picked it up off the ground. But that ball just kind of fell in a bad spot, and 3 or 4 Bears able to touch it. And number 2 came out of the pile, Winsler, with it, and advanced the ball nicely all the way up to the 35-yard line. So the Bears have the football, first down and 10. And let's see if they can keep some of that momentum going right now, Chris.
Yeah, that'd be good.
A nice long drive right here and a score could just set the tone for what we want to get done here in this second half. Novus again in the quarterback spot. He's got a running back to his right, and that is James, and he'll hand the ball to James on the counter. Off left guard goes nowhere as Fairview blows up the left side of that offensive line, and James gets very little. On that offensive front again, Ian Moore is at the right tackle, Keegan Brown the right guard, the center's Travis Beck, Tyler Hartsock the left guard, and Chemi Sanchez the left tackle as we reset the offense here in this second half. James will be the running back. They'll send Smith and Dean up to the visitor's side. The ball just about in the middle of the football field. And they have Bryson Andrews all by himself here on the home side. Novus drops and looks, got time, throws it, and he's got his man, Devontae Royster.
Boy, he really threaded the needle there, didn't he?
Nice job by Royster to pull that one in at the 47-yard line. Little drag route for Royster, started on the right side from his tight end spot, and then just worked his way across the left side of the field. And you're right, Zach put that ball right where it needed to be. Royster had a couple of black jerseys on him as soon as he caught the ball, but he had 12 by that time, and they spot the ball at the 48-yard line, first down and 10. Just underway here in the third quarter. Main Stop scoreboard has the Bears up 6-0. Devils now to the home side, which is the white side of the field. They'll turn and fake the ball to James. And the quarterback keeper around the right end will just be enough for a short pickup as Novus is tumbled over number 8, Hunter Bostatter. And they'll say that Novus got a yard, and that's about it. And a tough yard it was. Second down now and 9. Be good to see that running game start to take a little effect here in the second half. The way that they finished out that game last week at Woodward was really a great sight. James again to the right now. Novus, who's in the pistol look. 3 wide receivers here on the home side. Novus going to call his own number. Quarterback keeper right up the middle. He'll have enough for the first down as he crosses into Fairview territory and gets tumbled down at the 43-yard line, about a yard more than what he needed. It will be first down and 10 Golden Bears.
Get him all the way to the 41.
So first down and 10 Golden Bears. And Zach Novus with a very heads-up move on that play. His offensive line opened up a little hole right back through the center. I think he was intending to throw that football, but when he saw all that green grass in front of him, he just took off.
And the offensive line held off the blitz because Fairview was blitzing on that one too.
Smith and Dean go wide to the visitor side. That's the wide side of the field. Andrews again here on the home side. That's the short side. They'll turn and they'll hand it to James, and James goes off right tackle, breaks the tackle, and then he spins and is dropped at the 38-yard line. Give James a good 3. Second down and 7. Clock at 9:22 and counting here in the third quarter. And the Bears with the opening drive here in the third quarter are into Fairview territory. And looked like they've worked a few of those bugs out here, Chris, with this drive.
Yeah, absolutely, and I hope they just keep doing this the rest of the night, just crunching clock.
Royster will be the tight end on the left side, and right behind him will be James in the wing. Single receiver up on the visitor side, which is the wide side of the field. Doubles right here in front of us on the home side. On the short side, it's on the home side hash mark. Novus will sweep the opposite way. Gets around the left end, but we have a flag that came all the way back from the back judge. As Novus turned the corner, picked up about 5, but I'm afraid this one might be coming back. When they throw that one, they normally find somebody that's grabbed a hold of something that they shouldn't have.
The flag is at the 40.
All the guys in the dark jerseys are applauding.
Holding on the Bears.
Yep. And the spot of the hold is right around the 40-yard line.
Take it down to the 50, back to the 50.
Ball will actually be placed just on the Bryan side of the 50-yard line. And we'll set up
second and 19.
And a whole bunch. Royster again, the tight end on the visitor side, which is the short side of the field. They have a single wide receiver. That's Andrews out right in front of the Bryan bench. Doubles here on the wide side. Novus looks to throw. He's got Dean in the flat at the 45 of Fairview, and he goes up the field a couple of yards and steps out of bounds. He gets pretty much all of that penalty back, and they'll set up a third down at about 11. Give him 8. Clock stops as he steps out of bounds with 8:23 to play in the third quarter. And if you just tuned in, the Bears leading on the main stop scoreboard 6-0. Don't forget Thirsty Thursdays at all the main stops in Northwest Ohio. 79 cents will get you any size fountain drink, coffee, or cappuccino. All brought to you by the Q96.5 FM and the main stops in Northwest Ohio. All receivers in a bunch, 3 of them on the visitor side, and that's the wide side of the field. James to the left of Novus. Novus looks to the left side. Now he looks back to the center of the field. Now he decides to run, and he has troubles. Looks like he was swarmed under by a whole mess of bumblebees. First guy that got there was Zedek, and he had help from Braxton Singer, and then just throw in about everybody else wearing a black jersey. And it sets up a fourth down, a loss of about 3, and it'll be 4th down and 14. Smith will come in to kick it away. Groves will stand back inside his 10. He's on the visitor side and rakes on the home side at the 9-yard line. Decent snap, decent kick. This is a end-over-end kick. Groves will field it at the 15. He has a little bit of running room, crosses the 20, gets out to the 25, and was actually knocked down initially by Alex Lehman, his own player. But there were Bears all around him. He was going down anywhere. Now, Chris, there is a 60 coming off the field right here. Isn't it there? Yep.
Like a 60.
Yep, right there. There's a 50 too, and you're right. But there's a 60, and when you go back to that darn Apaches lineup, there's a 59 and a 64, but they take a big gap in between. So I'm not sure. Maybe that's Mean Joe Green. They were doing one of those kind of things here tonight. Good-sized kid. Been in on a couple of plays here so far tonight, and was part of the pass blocking on that punt return there. And we have a holding call against Fairview now that says taking a little bit of time, and they are going to move that football from the 25-yard line. And once they mark this off, it should take it back to about the 15, because they're saying it occurred right there at the 25. So with 7:36 to play in the third quarter, the Apaches will have the football here to their first opportunity now. See if they can score some points in this third quarter. 6-0 Golden Bears. Ball on the 15-yard line. Hard to get the quarterback. He's got a running back to his right. And now he sends Groves in motion, and they will pitch that ball. Nope, fake the ball to Groves. Hand it on the misdirection play to Luke Timbrook, and Timbrook will get about, maybe 7 yards. Nice job by Hart to fake. I was following Groves the entire way as he started as a flanker and took off running behind his quarterback. And nice job by Hart to be able to fake that pitch backwards and then turn around and put it in the belly of his fullback.
By the way, Jim, 60 is Chase Singer.
There you go. Okay.
Revised roster is Chase Singer.
Pitch this time does go to number 7. He breaks the tackle in the backfield, and he's around the right corner, up the sideline. He's at the 40, 45. He's into Bryan territory at the 40, and he'll be knocked out of bounds finally down around the 24-yard line. And he was in a hurry. I believe that was Spencer Winslow that made the touchdown-saving tackle down around the 25-yard line. It was one-on-one at that corner at that point in time, and there was not much running room. Logan Clemens also out there, but I'll tell you what, once he got the corner, and that was, again, the exact play they showed the last time, and they came the opposite direction with the fullback draw. And that makes it a first down and 10, and we have a whistle and a timeout, and it will be taken by the home team, Fairview. So Fairview takes a timeout after the big run. 6:35 to play third quarter. We'll step away here in the Golden Bear Sports Network with the Bears up 6-0 here on the main stop scoreboard.
An insurance policy is essentially a promise to pay for covered losses that occur to your assets. At Andrews O'Neill & Lowe, we take this promise seriously, from the minute you accept the policy to the moment the loss occurs and beyond. That's why we place your auto, home, or business insurance with an experienced carrier like the Central Mutual Insurance Company. Our expertise, matched with Central's quality products and service, provide you protection, security, and peace of mind. Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is your local Central agent. Call us today at 419-636-5050.
6-0 here on the Golden Bear Sports Network from Fairview. Chris Malenga, Jim Funderburg, but Fairview knocking on the door, Jim.
Trying to turn this whole thing around, and it was a big run by the young man Ian Groves, who's a senior.
53 yards.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's been a couple of big plays so far. Bears had a 50-yard touchdown, and that was almost an even longer 75-yard touchdown scamper. Hart will call his own number. He'll head around the right corner, and he's not going very far. As the Bears are there to pull him down, I believe that was Harold on the tackle from his end spot. Hart will get around the corner for about a yard. They're saying that was actually Miller on that tackle. They're kind of on the opposite end of the field and a long ways away right now. And I'll have to lock these quadrifocals back in again tonight, Chris, and see if I can squeeze a little more vision out of them. How's that?
That'd be good.
We're sitting right around the midfield stripe, and the Fairview down inside their 25-yard line. Misdirection play going around to the right corner. That's Zach Hess, and Hess finds an awful lot of nasty Golden Bears as he turns the corner, and they wrap him up and knock him down. I think they're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage, and they're going to give him about a yard, but boy, there were Bears all over him. Before it was all over and done with, they had moved him back about a half a dozen yards. Joe Fenner was the very first guy that was out there. Spencer Winslow along with a whole bunch of other folks. I've been impressed with Connor Ford, too, getting up and down that football field, playing for the middle of that line, of that defensive tackle spot. He was part of that pile as well. Hart again goes back at the pistol look. He's got a running back to his left. That's Hess. He'll drop straight back and he's going to look to throw. Looking down the field, now he's going to run out of room. Bears chasing him, and they're going to drop him for a loss back at around the 28-yard line, and a nice job. I'll tell you what, you talk about the big guys on the inside, and they come up and do a job for you. I think it was Connor Ford that made that tackle. It's a loss of about 6, and it'll set up a fourth down now and about 14 for Fairview as the ball all the way back out
to 27.
At the 27, almost the 28. You're right, Chris. What a nice job by the Bears. The Bears' defense has looked pretty tough, though, tonight. I've been impressed with their ability to get out, hit, wrap, tackle. Only one big play, really, for either one of these teams tonight. So
this is the key right here, though, at 4th and 13.
Been a good battle between both teams tonight. Zedek will be wide to the short side of the field, which is the visitors' side. They put 18 Keenan Jackson in the slot with 4 receivers on the home side. Hart will roll that direction. Looking down the field to throw. He's got his guy on the sideline. That's number 1, Caleb Frank. And Frank, who kind of got lost down around the 15-yard line, pulls it in, advances it to the 10. That'll be enough for the first down. And I don't know, they ran 4 receivers here on the home side. 3 of them went deep. Frank just pulled up and down around the 10-yard line and kind of hit on the sideline, and Hart was able to find him, connect, get the first down, and move the sticks down inside the 10, so it'll be first down and goal. at the Bryan 8-yard line now for the Fairview Apaches.
20-yard pickup there on that one, Jim.
Nice job. Apaches again, pitch. Guess who? Ian Groves trying the right side. He gets around the end, breaks the tackle. He's inside the 5. He's down to about the 3. Bears up on the top to make the stop, and I believe that was Logan Clemens that got him.
They missed another hold right there too, Jim.
Ball now spotted on the 3, so give him 5 on that first down pickup, and it is second down and goal from the 3. Whole pack of Apaches over here on the sideline. Caleb Frank will come out. He's the guy that set this whole thing up. He'll be wide here on the home side, and he'll draw single coverage. Then they bunch everybody else in, and let's see if they'll go that direction. Hart will keep it. He's going straight up the middle. He'll have a yard, and now he's broke out of the pile. He's still on his feet. Around the left end, Bears miss a tackle, and Hart's going to make it in. Wow, I don't know what happened there. He went up the middle of the field and just disappeared in the pile, and I was ready to call him down at about the 2. Somehow he came stumbling out of that pile, and when he stumbled back to the middle of that football field, there was nobody really around him. He got to the end, one Bear to beat, got around him, and it was an easy stroll into the end zone to tie this ball game up at 6. Wow, I don't know how he got out of that pile. Coach Redhead not going to be happy with that because there were a whole bunch of people who had an opportunity to down him at about the 2-yard line. Kudos, though, to the quarterback, Jackson Hart, the senior, 6'3", 185, kept his feet, kept his balance, and somehow found his way around the left end in the end zone.
Caleb Frank will be your place kicker.
2:49 to play third quarter. This one's tied. Decent snap and a perfect kick. And just like that, the missed extra point by the Golden Bears becomes a costly one as they find themselves down 7-6 on the main stop scoreboard here on the Bryan Golden Bears Sports Network.
As the baby boomer generation tires of traditional send-offs, funerals are becoming increasingly more personalized. People are pre-planning their own remembrance gathering. Pre-planning is easy and will pay off both emotionally and financially for you and your family. Plus allows you more control over your last hurrah. At Krill Funeral Service, we're not just funeral directors. We are experts at helping hearts heal.
At the Golden Bears Sports Network, penalty marker is down.
Along with the holder here tonight, too. And he is down.
I think they're going to get roughing.
Roughing the holder. Yeah, I think something happened there. It's going to be a personal foul against the Bears. I really didn't see what happened.
Well, I know they were coming to try to lay out the kick, and I don't know if they just laid him out. You know, you gotta get the kick before you get a person, and they didn't get the kick.
Yeah, that'll be one that Saturday night you're going to want to watch again at the 2:49 mark here, right after the touchdown. The young fellow looks like he's going to get back up, just probably had the wind knocked out of him a little bit as he's now to his knee and now on his feet. And that was Zach Hess. And I'm sorry, not 35, 34. So Hess, the holder.
They're going to give it, the call's running and roughing the kicker, though, which is interesting.
Okay.
So I don't know about that. And it's a 15-yarder, which means they're going to be kicking off.
Well, no, it's going to go against Fairview.
Oh, it is going to go against Fairview.
So I don't know what happened there. It had to be an unsportsmanlike against the home team because they're going to kick off now from their 25-yard line. I was expecting something to come our way as well, but again, at the same time, I don't know. The only thing I can figure, you're allowed to go through that guy holding the ball, trying to get to that kick.
Yeah.
And all I can figure is somebody in a black shirt took offense to that whole situation and let one fly. And I didn't see what happened, but this low kick is going to squib away from Zach Dean down around the 20-yard line. So a nice job there. He'll pick it up, come up the sideline, gets a block, makes a couple guys miss, still on his feet, and knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line. And there are yellow flags everywhere.
Are there any in the backfield?
There's one at the 35, there's one at the 45, there's another one sitting down there around the 40. So there are 3 of them, and I believe they all saw the same thing, and I would guess There's probably a block in the back or a hold or something against the return team, the Golden Bears.
Where did he end up at?
He ended up actually right out here at about the 43-yard line. Now let's see where he's going to end up once everything's over and done with. Block in the back. He was. You see, they're marking him at about the 42 is where he stepped out of bounds. 2:40 to play in the ball game. It's been an exciting one here in the last couple of minutes. Fairview went down and took the lead.
Wonder where they spotted that foul.
Yep, there you go. We're going to see the block in the back is at the 35.
35.
Two block in the backs. There were two of them, and the one that they'll pick is the one that occurred back on the 35-yard line, and will march the Bears back to their own 25 and set up a 1st down and 10 for the Golden Bears. And all of a sudden, this Apache crowd is revved up.
Yeah.
Ready to go. So the Bears have the football. 2:40 to play, 3rd quarter. They trail now by a point because of the missed extra point that was blocked.
This is a game that the Golden Bears have got to win. Like, they cannot just lay down right here. They need to come back with a strong score.
Novus in the pistol. James there to his right. He fakes it to James. He throws it to Devontae Royster in the big tight end. We'll have a short pickup close to the 30-yard line. Big fella caught the ball, put the stiff arm back, but the unfortunate part for him was number 8, Hunter Bostatter, was on the back of his legs. Went down exactly where he needed to go. 5-yard pickup, though, by Devontae. It'll set up a 2nd down and 5. Good solid tackle by Bostatter, or Royster would have been one-on-one with a little defensive back in the corner. Again, one back in the backfield. James, they'll fake it to him. Novus keeps the football, and this time Fairview with a good push will hit him right there about a yard shy of the line of scrimmage. He'll lose about a yard. It'll set up 3rd down. They'll say he got back to the line of scrimmage, so no gain. And now they move it back about a 1.5 feet, so a loss of just a little bit. 3rd down and still about 6 now for the Bears. Clock down to 1:36 to play, 3rd quarter. Novus with a running back to his right and triples on the home side of the field, which is the wide side of the field. No receivers on the top side. He's going to bring it right up the middle of the football field. He'll be across the 35. He'll be close to the 37. That should be enough for the 1st down, and the Bears will move the chains. Nice job by Novus to look everybody off. He took that first look towards that home sideline, and everybody took a look with him. Then he looked back up the middle of the field, and his offensive line did a nice job of opening up a nice little lane right up the center of the football field. He scampered up for about 7, and that was enough for the 1st down. 1:09 to play, 3rd quarter. Novus again. James to his right. He'll keep it again right up the middle of the field, and again a nice hole as they're across the 50, and he's in Fairview territory at the 47. All of a sudden, the interior of that offensive line starting to play some nasty football for the Golden Bears. Travis Beck, Keegan Brown, Tyler Hartzog, the 2 guards in the center, open up a nice big lane for Zach Novus to follow through.
Pickup of 18 on the play.
49 ticks and counting here until the end of the 3rd quarter. Novus again in the pistol look with his running back to his right. Doubles on the home side, which is the wide side of the field. He'll fake it. Now he's going to go that way, and he has trouble. As big number 50, Alex Lehman, did a little horse riding there. Saw Novus coming. He just jumped up on his back and rode him down to the ground for a loss of about 1. Clock goes down to 21 seconds, and I'm not sure that the Bears will try another play right now before this quarter's over. Down to 16-15, no need to really run a play. They look over to Coach Redhead on the sideline, and I think they're saying, let's just take our time. Down to 5 seconds, and I believe we've seen our last play of the 3rd quarter. They are set, though, with fun. There you go. All right. Boy, I thought they were going to get that thing snapped with just a couple of tenths. And at the last second, the buzzer sounded, and we've got 3 in the books. Main Stop Scoreboard has the Bears trailing 7-6 here in Fairview as we start the 4th quarter on the Bryan Golden Bears Sports Network.
They say there is strength in numbers. In Bryan, we have always taken pride in supporting our Golden Bears student athletes in all of their sporting endeavors. The Bryan Athletic Boosters now have a chance for you to get into the game. If you're Bryan proud, it's time to become Bryan strong. Whether you were a BHS athlete, are raising a BHS athlete, or just love supporting our Bryan High School athlete. This is your chance to be part of the BHS sporting community. Talk to any board member today on how easy it is to join, or contact us at 419-636-4536.
This is Dieter showing you the 2017 Ford Fiesta that has a final price of under $13,500 here at Darryl Shirkey Ford Lincoln. How did we get there? First, there's a $3,000 rebate from Ford. Add in the Darryl Shirkey employee discount of $681, bringing the final price of this Ford Fiesta to $13,469.
At Darryl Shirkey Ford Lincoln, everyone gets the employee discount on all new Ford cars and trucks. Stop by and see how much you can save.
That offensive line took control in that fourth quarter. Let's see if we can do it tonight.
Exactly what you need to do. Eden is down to Hicksville 35-6. It's Fairview. That's our game. 31-6. Liberty Center over Woodward, and St. Mary's up 28-20 on Van Wert.
Dominic James, the running back, he's the right of Novus, but he has got to feel like the Maytag repairman sitting back there here in this fourth quarter. They'll hand it to Dom this time. Left tackle for a little bit of a gain. He's across the 35 down to about the 34-yard line. Give him 2. Singer on the tackle, they'll say 3 actually as he gets inside the 34 to about the 33 and a half.
And I like using James there because what it does is it frees things open for Nobis.
Yeah.
Got to keep the defense honest.
Every now and then you have to hand it to your halfback. Otherwise, they're going to just start looking at number 18 and saying that's the only guy that can run the ball. Royster is the tight end, and he is tight up on the right-hand side. Bears bring 2 receivers to the short side, which is the home side of the field. Send 1, that's Andrews, to the visitor side, which is the wide side of the field. Fairview jumped off again, but they didn't snap the ball. And again, the draw play will open up a big hole off a left guard, and just like that, James will scamper through to the 30. They'll mark him down just inside the 30, and it'll set up a 3rd down and about 3 now for the Bears.
9:51 to play, fourth quarter of play.
Gotta love it. Oh, you got a little monitor over there that you're cheating there on me, aren't you?
I am cheating on you, man.
All right, the Bears will send trips now. Smith and Dean will go up along with Andrews to the top of the football field. Nobody over here except Devontae Royster, the tight end, and he's close. And again, they'll run the football around the right end. Novus has some good yards. He's down inside the 25 at about the 24. And they'll say he went down, knee went down right at the 25-yard line, but that's enough for another Golden Bear first down.
Keep that clock churning.
And if you were with us last week, even though if you watched the video of the ball game, it looked like it was a pretty nice night for a football game, and the lights were good and everything. The lighting on yours truly was okay, but it was the field that was a little dark.
Yeah, the field was a little dark for us. Although it looked not bad on TV. So
it looked very good. Eric and these guys did a nice job making that happen. The Charettes did wonders for us that night with makeup. Novus all by himself in the backfield. He rolls around that left end, and we have a holding call probably on the interior of that Bryan line.
That might be a Fairview penalty, just the way that the coaches next to us reacted.
Yeah, they weren't happy about everything.
No.
You heard something get kind of slammed down over in the coaches'
but
room.
it's going to be a hold on Bryan.
Holding against Bryan, it negates about a nice 4.5, 5-yard run by Zach Novus. And so instead of that being second down at about 6, It's going to end up being first down, and the hold actually happened at around the 29-yard line. So this is going to set up a first down at about 15 as they bring that ball all the way back to the 39-yard line. And they have to go down to about the 15.
Yeah, that'll make it 1st and 24.
Yeah, so that makes it a difficult situation. And again, just the spot where the hold took place, which was in the backfield for the Bears. Bears now have 2 wide receivers here right in front of us in the slot back here.
Bears now penalized 5 times for 40 yards.
Nobis by himself in the backfield. He'll roll towards the home side looking to throw. Fakes the throw. Then he runs out of time at the 40-yard line as Hunter Bostatter goes down to the legs and pulls him down. I'm not sure whether Zach wanted to throw the ball down the field or not, but he didn't have an open receiver. And when he made the move, Bostatter just put it into another gear, went down, wrapped him up, and dropped him. And the ball now at the 39-yard line.
No gain.
So the Bears with a 2nd down and 24 from the 39. And they'll send triples to the top. Smith is the farthest. He's right at our sideline. That's the wide side of the football field. Nobis drops straight back. He has time. Stays in the pocket. Now he throws one deep for Devontae Royster, and it is intercepted in the end zone. Trying to lead Royster a little bit too far. Royster kind of hit the brakes down around the 3-yard line. And Luke Timbrook played the football perfectly into the end zone at about 5 yards deep, made the interception. It will be Fairview football on the 20, 1st down and 10.
Wow. So there you go from having it 1st down on the 25 with Bryan driving and some momentum.
Yeah.
To getting a penalty to then throwing a pick.
Well, I'll tell you what, it comes down to this simple. I mean, Devontae pulled that route up, and he's just got to keep going.
Yep.
If he keeps running the route, he's probably on the receiving end of at least a ball that has a 50-50 shot of being a touchdown. He pulled it up a little bit lame at the 5-yard line, and the ball went over his head. And Timbrook, who was playing safety behind him, had an easy catch in the end zone. Fairview looks a little bit disjointed here as they bring that football team back out on the football field. And Hart sends his buddy Ian Groves in motion. They'll fake it and go the opposite way. They got a guy running wild. 34, Zach Hess, he's at midfield. He's at the 30, he's at the 20, and he's finally knocked down at the 18-yard line. They faked the pitch back to Even Groves, and they came with the draw play to Hess, and Hess just ran out of gas down here at the 28-yard line. He's got the helmet off. He kind of fell on the football, and what air was left in his lungs has now been expended here at Apache Field.
52-yard pickup, Jim.
He's laying flat on his back at the 18, but the Apaches have it 1st down and 10, and they're looking to take advantage of the bigger team here, the Golden Bears, as we'll have a little injury timeout. We'll take it with them. 7:35 to play in the football game. Bears trail 7-6 on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Tonight's broadcast of Golden Bear Sports is proudly streamed by BMU Cable and High-Speed Internet. BMU is your hometown local provider for digital HD cable and high-speed internet. Call BMU today at 419-633-6100 or visit us on the web at cityofbryan.net. Go Bears from all of us at BMU.
You know, gathering with those we love, we get to catch up and we get to reflect on the past.
It seems like every time we get together, I always learn something new.
Here's the front page of the Columbus Dispatch when he won state baseball tournament, sliding into home plate.
Look at that, the front page. And that's a neat picture.
That was a great memory. I'll never forget that.
At Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home, we understand that there are special memories that need to be remembered and shared.
This is
Back here at Fairview High School, Jim Funderburg along with Chris Malenga with 7:35 to play in the ball game. And a big run, and the young fellow that made the run, Zach Hess, is still now sitting up and grabbing a little oxygen here on the sideline and trying to get himself going. And he's sitting up now, and it looks good. That's a good sign.
Yeah, it is a
as
good
he's
sign.
up and moving. So a big drive. What was the run? 62 yards.
62 yards.
62 yards by Hess, and now he's actually hobbling off the sideline, so it looks like not only did he run out of wind, He either cramped up in one of his legs, and I believe that's all it is. He ran out of oxygen and needs a banana down there on the sideline, I believe. But it'll be first down and 10 at the 18 of the Golden Bears, and the Bears defense, man, needs to step up and play some football.
Absolutely.
Right
I mean,
now.
we have first down on the 25.
Yeah. Jackson Hart, the quarterback, the senior, leads them out. He's got a running back to his left, and that's Luke Timbrook, who made the interception. Hart will keep it. He'll find room between left guard and left tackle, and he'll advance the ball to the 15-yard line. So a pickup of about 3 for Hart as the clock ticks down under 7:20 to play here in this football game. Main Stop scoreboard has the Bears down by a point, 7-6. And Fairview just taking their time. And again, over here on the sideline, Zach Hess, who went 62, is seeking some attention. He might have a little bit of a tweak in an ankle or something, but it did look just like maybe it was he's up and walking right now. It was just basically a cramp and a lack of oxygen. Hart pitches the ball and sweep to Groves. He'll go right side. He breaks the tackle. He's on his feet at the 5, and he's in the end zone. Ball's loose, but they're saying it was a touchdown. Ball was actually laying on the goal line when it was all over and done with, but the official right on the goal line had the signal up for the touchdown, and I think he got knocked out as he crossed the goal line, and it ended up on the 1, but by that time he had crossed the plane. And with that, it sends the Apaches up 13-6 with 6:40 to play here in this football game. Well, it's gut check time for
I mean, we had a
first down. Bears.
First down and at the 25-yard line at Fairview's 25. You turn it over.
Yep.
You give up a big play, and now you give up a score.
Well, the good news is you have 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go and 3 timeouts. The bad news is you only have 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to go, and it looks like Fairview will go for 2 here.
Which is smart.
Hart will be in the pistol. He has a running back to his left, and he sends Groves in motion. He drops the throw across the middle, and it's caught. And the 2-point conversion sends the Apaches up by 9, 15-6. And now it's going to take a couple of scores for the Golden Bears to take a win back up the road with them.
That was smart for Fairview to go for 2 there, because now it's 9, and it's a 2-score game. That was brilliant.
Nice little crossing pattern middle way in the end zone. The receiver got open, and the ball was delivered right on the target. And I think it was Thomas Hall that was the young fellow that pulled that one in for the 2. Bears with some pretty good defense there. You really didn't see the number, but they couldn't strip that ball away, and Hall was able to cradle it in for the 2-point conversion. And with that, Fairview has a 9-point cushion with 6:40 to play in this football game, and the Bears need to make something happen, and they need to make it happen kind of quick.
Well, you know, what's interesting here on everything is that each team has 1 turnover, and Fairview's turnover was on their first drive, and all the Bears could do after that was punt. Bryan's turnover was late in the game, and it led to a score.
Yeah, Fairview, you got to give them credit, man. They just hung in there and hung in there and hung in there. When it looked like maybe the Bears were going to grind them into the dirt on that last drive, they holding penalty on the Golden Bears, which made it first down and 24, kind of took them out of their rhythm, and they got out of that running game. And the throw to the end zone that overshot Dante Royster down around the 5-yard line, and he just basically kind of pulled up right there, went into the hands of the Apaches and turned everything around. This ball is going to be kicked between the Golden Bears, and it will make its way to the end zone. The Bears will have a first down and 10. So the Bears will have a long field. They have all 3 timeouts, but they're going to have to make something happen, because Fairview has shown right at this point in time that they can control that football and keep things going on their end. So Bears will get the football on the 20-yard line, first down and 10. 6:40 to play in this contest, and they find themselves down after the 2-point conversion by 9. And boy, how big is that extra point that was blocked on them back in the
big time.
That touchdown right now, Chris. That point right there would have given you at least the opportunity with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie this thing. They'll go empty backfield, 3 wide receivers on the home side of doubles on the top. Quarterback drops. Now he's going to bring it right up the middle of the field. He's got room, but he's at the 26-yard line and tumble down at the 27. So Novus gets about 7, but I think Fairview is more than happy to give them that for the rest of the night. And we have a whistle and I believe a flag, and it is one, up on the Bryan sideline by the hash mark at around the 27, 28-yard line. So we'll see what this is all about. Looks like there might be one as well down around the 18-yard line, right in the center of the football field. The officials right at the middle of the football field now talking things over. Clock stops, 6:27 to play in the game. This could be a huge call, because if it goes against the Golden Bears,
they're in trouble.
And here we'll find out what happened. Well, they pick up the flag at the 18. They pick up the flag at the 27, and now we'll get the explanation. Got to go against Fairview.
Personal foul. Fairview.
Took a little while to get that one called, and it will be marked off from the 23, which will be a big plus for the Bears, because that ball is coming out, actually the 27, I'm sorry. That'll come all the way out to the 42, and it will be first down and 10 Bears. So that 15 yards comes courtesy of a personal foul by the Fairview Apaches, and the Bears again open up the backfield. Nobody in the backfield except Zach Novus. Triples to the top, doubles to the bottom. Zach drops back and he has time. Zone coverage by the Apaches. He's going across the middle, and he's got Dean, and Zach took his eye off. I'll tell you, I knew I was going to do that. Dean took his eye off of that ball as he had a Fairview Apache coming at him. It was just a little crossing route around the 40-yard line of the Apaches. Hit him on the hands, but at the last second you saw those eyes go towards that black jersey, and the ball then fell to the ground, incomplete, second down and 10. That was a tough one. And, I'll tell you what, it's a tough one for a guy like Austin, because he's not a big fella. 5'9" and 150 pounds is what they listed in the program. And I think I'd odd man you out as to whether or not he lives up to those measurements even. Great kid. Those Dean kids have always been wonderful kids to be around. Triples to the top, doubles to the bottom. Novus drops. Has some time now. He's flushed. He'll run up the sideline, the home sideline, and he'll step out of bounds at midfield. And that will be close to what he needs for the first down. Let's see whether they mark him out on the Bryan side or the, well, they're going to say right at the 50 is where he stepped out. Just barely over the 50 into Fairview territory. Makes it third down and 2. Zach was intent on throwing that ball, couldn't find anybody, and then when the pocket started to collapse on him, he took off up the football field, got to the sideline, got out of bounds, and a nice pickup as the ball's laying dead on the 50-yard line now. Third down and a couple. Obviously 4-down territory for the rest of the night for the Bears, who trail by 9 with 6:06 to play.
Don't get cute, just get the first down.
Novus drops, empty back foot, look again, he'll throw it into the flat, and he's hit just as he releases the football, and it sails high and out of bounds. Braxton Singer is the young guy that was putting the pressure on Zach Novus. And Novus, who had a guy down here open in the flat, I believe it was Smith, could not deliver the football because he took one right between the numbers as he was aiming to fire. Clock stops with 6:04 to play, and this may be the biggest play of the night as the Bears have 4th and 2. Clemens and Miller will go to the top. Triples down here for the bottom for the Bears. Novus by himself at the backfield. Drops, and now he'll run it. He will have the first down before they impede his forward progress and then push him backwards about 3 yards. But I think they've got to mark him. Yeah, they do. Yep. The line judge on the visitor side has the proper mark, which is about the 47-yard line. He ended up back in midfield, and everybody here on the Fairview sideline were happy to see where he landed. What they failed to see where he achieved, and what he achieved was a first down as they moved the sticks on the visitor side with 5:55 to play in the ball game. Triples again to the top, doubles again to the bottom. Novus again all by himself in that backfield. The offensive line going to depend on some pressure, the ability to pick up the pressure. Only 3 guys rushing from the down position for Fairview. Then they bring a linebacker. Novus takes off on the run, and he's not going to get much. back to the line of scrimmage, maybe move it forward a foot or two. Second down, and we're going to call it 10 still. And the clock down to about 5:38, and the Bears right back to the line of scrimmage. Time is precious to the guys with the white jerseys and the gold helmets. Triples again at the top, doubles again to the bottom. Novus again by himself. Here comes 4 rushers this time. Novus stands in the pocket, he throws it out, and he's got his man, Smith. But Smith with just a small pickup out in the right flats of about 3. He'll cross the 45 to the 44, and he's wrapped up right there. It'll be third down now and about 8. Again, the Bears without a huddle. Triples in front of us on the home side. That's the wide side of the field. Doubles to the top. Novus drops. He has plenty of time. Throws the ball. He's got Dean and hit him in the breadbasket, and he dropped it at the 38-yard line. That would have been a couple yards short, but it would have set up a 4th down and a couple, and instead it'll be 4th down and 8 as the ball comes back and is placed on the 44-yard line.
Does stop the clock, though, which gives the Bears some time to settle down.
Just under 5 minutes to play.
Eden is trailing Hicksville 42-12 now. Liberty sent over Woodward 38-6. Evergreen over Ottawa Hills 34-3. Montpelier losing to Edgerton 33-6, and Swanton up 35-6 over Rogers.
Before everything gets started, the play is whistled dead. I'm not sure what's happening in the middle of that line, but the football
equipment issue. Number 74
there you
for
go.
Bryan.
There you go. We got center back to the Connor Beck to the sideline. Maybe something wrong with the helmet or whatever, and they will substitute in Carter Hoffman to play center now. And a big play to lose your starting center. Novus now has James to his left, Triples on the home side, tight end up on the visitor's side. And he drops. He's got heat as he throws, and the ball's dropped. It'd have been enough for a first down, but Devontae Royster can't pull that one in, and the ball will go over on downs to the Fairview Apaches. And I'll tell you what, with 4:48 to play and the crowd definitely on their side, this does not bode well for the visiting squad here tonight. And I can tell you, coach and staff not going to be real happy when they look at the videotape of this one this next week.
Absolutely.
Number of passes that were dropped, routes that were broken off, assignments probably missed, and right now, the Fairview Apaches look to even this series up a little bit closer. They were down, what, 4-2, Chris, is what you said? And the way it stands right now, probably going to be a 4-3 situation as Timbrook tries the right end for a couple. Timbrook gets 3. Harold makes the tackle. Bears call their first timeout. And with 4:40 to play, we'll step away. The main stop scoreboard has the Bears down by 9, 15-6.
Looking for career opportunities? They're closer than you think. Northwest State has more than 70 degree and certificate programs, so you can start on the path to a rewarding career or take your existing skills to a whole new level. Your future is knocking. What are you waiting for? Opportunities await at Northwest State Community College. Find out more at northweststate.edu.
Back here at Fairview, Jim Futterberg, Chris Malenga, 4:40 to play. Bears down by 9. Chris, I'll tell you, this is looking a little bleak.
Yes,
second down and about 8 for the Apaches. And again, if they can milk all 3 Bryan timeouts right now in a minute or so off the clock, they'll probably be happy with that. Yep. They got to kick it away. Hart would love to get that first down because that would be the ultimate dagger in your chest. Luke Timbrook is the running back to his right. They've got 2 wingbacks, and they'll send one of them in motion. They will pitch that ball out to him. And around the right corner with flags flying everywhere goes number 20, Thomas Vance, the punter. That was the first run of the night, I think, for Vance, and a holding call will go against Fairview. Very little pickup, and I'll tell you what, this is one that you almost decline, I got to believe, if you're the Bears. You'd like to have the distance, but right now I think you'd rather have the down. It'd make it third down and about 8.
Yep.
I think, yeah, there you go. There, Coach Redhead declines that one. Smart idea. You know what? If you can't stop them for 8, on third down. Who cares about second down and 15 or 17? I'll take the third down and 8 and hope that my defense can get my offense back on the football field.
By the way, it's Bryan High School football on the Golden Bear Sports Network, BMU Channel 3, BryanSports.com, and WQCT Bryan.
And the clock is ticking at 4:24 in the fourth quarter, and the bell's about to toll for the Golden Bears unless they can find some sort of magic. Hartigan in the shotgun. Tim Brook to his left, and they're taking their time. They'll send number 7 again, Groves in motion. This time they'll throw right across the middle, and we'll take that one. A short pickup right to midfield, and Bears all around him. And it was complete to 35 Russ Zedek, so good to see Zedek coming right back in, and that will set up a 4th down and 5. Bears only burned, they burned 2 timeouts now, so they're down to their final timeout of the football game, and we're down to exactly 4 minutes in the football game. And there's a timeout on the field.
So that's their second one, I think.
Yep, I think they just took it right there. Coach got to talk some things over. They need to make a few things happen here tonight, or they're going to go onto a bus, and it won't be, I guess if there's any consolation, it's not a long bus trip, right? But boy, I'll tell you what, those are the bus trips you really don't want to be on, because I've got to believe there are not going to be a lot of happy words exchanged on those 2 big yellow buses that came down from Bryan tonight.
I agree. Speaking of long bus rides, tomorrow the cross-country team's competing at Tiffin.
Okay,
which is not a close bus ride.
Yeah, it's always I was happy to see us get the Tiffin boys off the schedule. I agree.
Kids have to be on the bus at 5:45 in the morning.
There you go. That'll build character right there.
Yep.
All right, Vance to kick this one away. Bears come at it, don't get it, and what a monster kick. It bounces at the 10 and will be down at the 8. And you can't blame Logan Clemens for trying to get away from that one, because it was a high, booming
42-yarder
that was heading in a real weird direction. And Clemens had to go back on it like a center fielder and try to bring it down in, and he just wisely got away from it. And it died right there at the 8-yard line. Bears have the ball, 92 yards away from scoring territory. Down by 9 and only 3:51 left on the clock.
1 timeout.
Do You Believe in Magic, I think was the song they used to play back in my day. You know what I mean? Well, you know, again, if we go back and can bring Shimmy and a few of the boys back in, I think we can pull this out. Past that, it's going to be an uphill climb the rest of this way. Again, empty backfield. Pass out onto the wing. It's complete, but it's only good for about 3, maybe 4. Bears get up and move, and that was Smith that made the catch for about, they're going to give him 4, almost 5 on that catch. Clock moving at 3.5 to play in the ball game. Triples now on the home side, doubles on the short side of the field. Ball again to Smith, this time on the opposite side.
Gets the first down.
He'll be at the 20. Ball comes loose, but I think he was down already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's only 11 black shirts out there, but they brought a guy on late. That's why it was counting.
They got up to
the first down at the 20-yard line. So Smith with back-to-back catches, the results in a Bryan first down, and the clock winds at 3:14 to play. Toss again, this time to Andrews, and this one off the mark and over his head. That'll stop the clock. .307 to play now in this football game, and the "We Are Fairview" chant going through this crowd, and I can tell you, everybody in the black and gold tonight are going to be very happy with the way that their football team performed. Good crowd on the home side. Decent crowd came down from Bryan tonight too, but they're not quite as celebratory right now as the boys are in the black and gold. Good snap. Quarterback draw. 25-yard line. Hit at the 28 and dropped right there. Hostatter on the tackle. Groves along with him. Pickup is 8, 3rd down and 2, 2:47 and counting. Novus drops, throws across the middle, but behind his receiver, but a nice job by Logan Clemens. He kind of batted it up in the air, stayed with it. He pulled it back in, and he has a 1st down out at the 38-yard line. Clock stops with the completion, and it winds. Novus drops, throws across the middle. Oh, Miller got absolutely separated from the football, as you can hear the crowd out around the 45-yard line of Fairview. And Novus just kind of let him right into Thomas L.T. Hall, who lit him up. It was a nice throw across the middle of the field. And Miller did a good job of trying to hang on to it, but boy, that was just perfect timing by Thomas Hall to be able to meet Mr. Miller and the ball at the same time and separate the two.
Fairview just took a timeout, Jim.
2:31 to play in the game. We'll step away with them. 15-6. Fairview up on the main stop scoreboard on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is committed to providing you the best value for your insurance dollar. We are an agency built on integrity, offering personal service and sound advice you can trust. That's why we partner with experienced carriers like the Central Mutual Insurance Company for your auto, home, or business insurance needs. Central's quality insurance products are reasonably priced and backed by prompt, professional service, providing value for your peace of mind. Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is your local Central agent. Call us today at 419-636-5050.
All right, back out here at Fairview, and it's a tough time right now for the Golden Bears with only 2:31 remaining, 1 timeout and down 9.
I tell you what, I don't know how you come up with any kind of plays to diagram this one. Chet Dangler's over there with his sign trying to rev the crowd up, but that's a crowd that's pretty tough right at this point in time. I think you'd have a rough time getting anybody to stand up and cheer right now if you're Chet. And so it'll be a long ride home for me and Chet tonight, too, for 15 minutes as we'll go home and listen to how the boy revved them up or tried to rev them up. And Chet never says die on that sideline for the Golden Bears. Bears #1 fan. 2.5 minutes. Clock is stopped. Bears have the football. 2nd down and 10 on their own 38-yard line. Zach Novus again all by himself in the backfield. There's 4 receivers here on the home side, and they throw quickly to Dean, and this one is behind him and will be incomplete. Going against that zone and trying to throw underneath of it just a little bit, and the ball a little bit behind Austin Dean.
And he tried to make a play on it, just couldn't do it.
So the clock stops now. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Bears. 2:27 left in this one. Same alignment with 4 wide receivers here on the home side. That's the wide side of the football field. Novus drops, fakes to run. Now he will run. He's across the 40. He'll get to about the 42 and whistle down at about the 42-yard line. It'll set up a 4th down and 6. Zach thought he just sat down on a Fairview Apache and got right up and spun and took off, but that back knee looked like it touched the carpet here at Apache Stadium. Here's a big play. Novus drops, throws it deep down the visitor's sideline, tipped up and almost pulled in, but incomplete. It was Evan Smith that made a wonderful try on that football down around the 20-yard line. Got it up in the air but couldn't pull it down, and with that the ball goes over on downs, and that will end the night here for the Golden Bears with 1 minute and 53 left to play in this football game at a 9-point deficit.
Yep. Comes down to turnovers and when you make them. Momentum in the game. Bryan had it first down at the 25. You get a big penalty, then you overthrow a receiver that stopped running.
Yeah.
Interception in the end zone, and then all of a sudden it turns. Momentum was definitely Bryan's way at that point.
So Fairview ready to just, I think, take a knee, I would bet. They've got a somewhat of a victory formation. They do have 2 wide receivers up on the visitor side, but they have 2 wing backs in, and Hart will take the snap.
Bears will take 1 timeout.
He'll put his knee down on the 48-yard line. And the Bears will use their final timeout of the night. And with 1 minute and 47 seconds to go, both crowds know what's happening. All the Bryan folks are heading for the exits, and all the Fairview fans are here to celebrate a little bit longer as they open up the rivalry again against the Golden Bears with a win here tonight on a Friday night. And a night that, I'll tell you what, I think most of the Golden Bears thought they were going to come down here and go away with a W this evening, but they were going to finish out their non-conference schedule here at 1-2.
Yep.
And I can tell you that there will be a whole host of coaches that will not be overly happy with that tally as you start in the NWAL next week.
Things don't get easier. I mean, Patrick Henry is beating Columbus Grove 30-18.
Yep.
Tenora's beating Delta 18-0. Napoleon's beating Wauseon 9-7. Liberty Center's beating Woodward 38-6. There's a common opponent right there.
Yeah.
The Bears eked one out, and Liberty Center's killing them.
Late hit by the Bears. That had nothing to do. I'll tell you what, not a good situation for the Bears. As they took the knee, Joe Fenner came around and just rolled into Hart, and he's going to the sideline right now. And I guarantee you, Coach Redhead is not a happy guy. That's not the way you play this football game. Fenner may be a little frustrated, but when the quarterback is just taking a knee, you don't barrel into him like that. He is basically a defenseless player at that time. Somebody could really get hurt, and Fenner just came piling off that left end and never slowed down and rammed right into him. And, he's frustrated. He's standing there all by himself on the sideline. But I don't know. You got to learn from that one. There's no doubt about that. The senior... I don't know. I'm speechless on that one. I've never, there's not too many that I've never seen that happen. I've just never seen it happen. I know you're frustrated. I know you're not happy with where you're at.
Well, they are lining up further back, so
yeah, but he
did come
he was
through.
down.
Yep,
he was
down. Yep.
He grabbed the ball. He went down to one knee. Fenner took about 2 or 3 more steps after that and just piled into him. And now they'll come a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage and take a knee at the line of scrimmage. And that probably is going to run it down to the point where they can take one more play as we're down to 1 minute and 6 seconds and counting. And Fairview and their crowd are starting to amp up the noise. Hart needs to take one more knee at 3rd down, and that's probably going to do it for the night. Yep. Wait till that clock goes as far as he can let it go, and at 40 seconds he's still waiting, and at 36 he takes the snap, drops down to one knee, and that's going to be it. Well, the rivalry gets started some 41 years later, and the Fairview Apaches started out the way that they wanted to, with a 15-6 victory tonight over the Golden Bears from Bryan. And the clock down to 12 seconds, and that's going to end it. The Bears are going to run off on their sideline. The Apaches lining up right now to shake hands on their sideline. And everybody in black and gold is probably going somewhere and celebrate after this ball game.
Absolutely.
And everybody in purple and gold are probably going home somewhere to talk about this one.
Yeah.
Triple zeros on the scoreboard. That'll do it tonight in Fairview. Bears fall 15-6 on the main stop scoreboard. When we come back, we'll put a wrap on this one here on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Looking for career opportunities? They're closer than you think. Northwest State has more than 70 degree and certificate programs, so you can start on the path to a rewarding career or take your existing skills to a whole new level. Your future is knocking. What are you waiting for? Opportunities await at Northwest State Community College. Find out more at northweststate.edu.
Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is committed to providing you the best value for your insurance dollar. We are an agency built on integrity, offering personal service and sound advice you can trust. That's why we partner with experienced carriers like the Central Mutual Insurance Company for your auto, home, or business insurance needs. Central's quality insurance products are reasonably priced and backed by prompt, professional service, providing value for your peace of mind. Andrews O'Neill & Lowe is your local Central agent. Call us today at 419-636-5050.
Okay. Well, it was a tough night for the Golden Bears. Good night for the Fairview Apaches,
Yeah.
and you really have to take your hats off to them. They played well, played hard. They had a few things not going their way in that second half, but they just knuckled down and made some plays. And the next thing you know, they're on the business end of a 15-6 victory here tonight. And you really do. You just have to congratulate Coach Rakes and his football team. It's a young team, but they just outplayed the Bears tonight, and it unfortunately leads to the second loss of the season for our Golden Bears.
Yeah, this is one that the Bears should have won, but hey, that's what it is. That's why we play the games.
Yep, you put the pads on, you come out on a Friday night, and you look one another eyeball to eyeball for a reason. And tonight, the guys that were able to make it happen were wearing black and gold.
Let's take a look at some of the stats for the team comparison. Bryan with 17 first downs, 5 of those by the pass, 9 by the rush, and 3 by the penalty. Fairview was 7 first downs only, 3 by the pass, 4 by the rush. Bryan was 6 of 14 from third down, 1 of 3 on fourth down. Fairview was just 1 of 10 on third down, 1 of 1 on fourth down. Bryan put up 247 yards of total offense. Fairview 279 total yards of offense. Zach Nobis was 15 of 29 for 126 yards and 1 pick. Meanwhile, Fairview's quarterback Jackson Hart was 8 of 13 for 93 yards. Bryan had 36 rushes for 121 yards. Fairview 29 rushes, 186 yards. Bryan was penalized 6 times for 55 yards. Fairview 6 times for 70 yards. Each team had a turnover. Fairview lost 1 fumble early on their first drive, and then Bryan threw that interception late that kind of sealed the deal for him. Scoring plays. In the second quarter, Zach Nobis threw a nice 50-yard touchdown pass to Austin Dean. The extra point by Evan Smith was blocked. Then in the third quarter, after a huge run, right? Correct? By Caleb Frank.
Yeah. 62 yards.
62 yards. Jackson Hart had a 6-yard or 3-yard touchdown run. And then late in the game, fourth quarter, another touchdown run after the Golden Bears turnover. Taking a look at some individual stats. Rushing, Zach Nobis rushed the ball 27 times for 90 yards, a long of 18. Dom James ran the ball 9 times for 31 yards. His long was 6. Receiving for the Golden Bears, Devontae Royster caught 2 balls for 18 yards. Austin Dean 3 balls for 66 yards. Logan Clemens caught a pass for 10 yards. Evan Smith 6 of them for 32 yards. Bryson Andrews and Dom James each caught a pass, and also did Noah Bonney. On the other side of the ball with Fairview, Ian Groves ran 8 times for 74 yards. Jackson Hart 11 attempts for 14 yards. Thomas Vance 2 attempts for 37 yards. Zach Hess 2 attempts for 63 yards. Luke Timbrook 2 attempts for 10 yards. Jackson Hart and Ian Groves each had a touchdown. Receiving, Caleb Frank caught 1 ball for 20 yards. Ian Groves 2 for 15. Keenan Jackson 1 for 34. Zach Hess 2 for 6. And Russ Zidick 2 for 18. Taking a look at some scores from around the area if you want, Jim.
Yeah, let's do that before we get out of here tonight, because there's some interesting contests, and especially interested in seeing how the folks in the NWAL are faring tonight.
Well, Hicksville over Eden right now at third quarter 42-12. In the fourth quarter, St. Mary's over Van Wert 50-34. It's Antwerp over Paulding 46-23. Remember, Paulding lost to this team 18-8, and they're up 46-23 today. Edgerton over Montpelier 40-6. That's in the fourth quarter. It's Ayersville over Bluffton 26-20. Patrick Henry over Columbus Grove in the fourth quarter 30-18. In the fourth quarter, Lipsick over Liberty Benton 21-17. Tenora in the fourth quarter over Delta 18-zip. It's Wayne Trace losing to Crestfield 33-7 in the fourth quarter. Napoleon over Wauseon 9-7. That's in the third quarter, last reported. Hilltop over Holgate 34-13 in the fourth quarter. It is Liberty Center beating Woodward at final 38-6. Evergreen 34, Ottawa Hills 3, that's a final. Pandora Gilboa 28, Arlington nothing, that's a final. Swanton 49-7 over Rogers, that's a final. Whitmer 49-14 over Perrysburg, that's a final. OG, the Titans over Lima Bath 38-6, that is a final, and that's the scores we've got for you.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a long night for the Golden Bears. They're going to have a week to kind of prepare, and then they get back into the conference next week. And it's going to be an interesting week of practice, I'm sure, for Coach Redhead and his guys as they try to put some things back online. I think that'll wrap it up for us tonight, Chris.
Tonight's game brought to you by Andrews and Low, Darrow Shirkey Ford, the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Krill Funeral Home and Crematory, Bryan Ford Lincoln, Northwest State Community College, Bryan Municipal Utilities, and Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home. Our production crew tonight, Chris Bryce and Aaron Gilbert. Our production assistants, cameras, Shar Miller and Samantha Clark. I want to thank our athletic departments, BHS, Mook Roofer, and Teresa Kuzmal. Fairview's athletic department, Mr. Paul Yunker. I want to thank our BHS art department, Matt Neff and Stephanie Group. For Jim Funderburg, I am Chris Malenga. Don't forget, you can order your DVD of this or any other production by calling 419-633-6137. Visit us on the web at cityofbryan.com or cityofbryan.net and bryansports.com. This has been a production of BMU Video. This broadcast is copyrighted by BMU and the Board of Public Affairs for the private home use of our audience. Any duplication or other use of this broadcast, including descriptions or accounts of this game without BMU's consent, is prohibited. One final time from Fairview, it's the Apaches 15, the Golden Bears 6. Thanks for joining us on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Tonight's broadcast of Golden Bear Sports is proudly streamed by BMU Cable and High-Speed Internet. BMU is your hometown local provider for digital HD cable and high-speed internet. Call BMU today at 419-633-6100 or visit us on the web at cityofbryan.net. Go Bears from all of us at BMU.